Good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube. I got up really early or really late, depending upon how you look at it, and the Thrash to get ready for this live stream did this. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know? But hey, sometimes life is like that. Now, you probably already saw in the chat to go ahead and use the form to send a question because we get too many. There are so many awesome people that show up, come in here and hang out with Monica and I on these live streams. It's way too many questions for us to try to get through the chat on. So if you have a question, use the form that Michael's been posting in the chat. And if you don't know who Michael is, he is Tech Examined. He's the ruler of the chat. He will make sure that all those questions get routed to the form. So make sure that you go in the form, you fill it out so that your question gets answered. If you ask your question in the form, it will get answered in this live stream. And apparently there's already 9 of them there. So good morning. I hope everybody is awesome. I have one little piece that I want to take care of. So what I'm going to do is I figure you guys like tutorials. I'm going to do a little bit of a tutorial on it right here to show you guys how to do it. So let me go over here to my tutorial screen. And what I'm going to do is I have my overlays, but I want to show you guys how to use the chat bot in Stream Elements. We're going to go into timers, and I have the donate timer already set up, but I want to add a new timer. And we're going to call this one, this is going to be for our form. So we'll call this one form. And I'm going to enter my form message here. I'm just going to copy it. Because believe it or not, I already typed this one out. So we're going to put our form message, if I can get my mouse back over here, into here. And there we go. We can make it look prettier if we want to, or we can at least try to. And I want to separate that a little bit. And then I'm going to move my camera a little bit here, if I can figure it out. There we go. Move my camera so you can see all the stuff here. So this shows you how many lines have to be in between each of the chats before this one will kick off. The interval in minutes, which it doesn't need to be that much because this chat usually gets hopping pretty good. So, you know, 10 minutes in between. And then the online interval in minutes is 5. So that looks good. So we can activate this timer, and now our little chat bot will we'll go ahead and use that for us. So if I go back to timers here, we're going to be able to see, there we go. So now we have 2. So if you were ever wondering how to add something like that to your chat bot, now you know. Now you know. I just wanted to add that real quick and show you guys how to do it. And now I'll move my camera back over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to talk to Monica and see if we're ready to go ahead and get these questions rolling. But how is everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing awesome. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do some goofy stuff. So, you know, let's do this. Let's go over and talk to Monica and see if we got any questions.
Good morning.
Hold on.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah, messing it up already.
I know. I always talk too soon. I want to say good morning to everybody. It's great to see you. It's a beautiful day here. We are in Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful day here. I hope things are going well for you, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. We currently have 12 questions in queue. Like Michael said, if you could please fill out the form, they will come into the queue that I'm working with, and they will be asked as they arrive in the queue. So hopefully we'll have a great stream. We had a lot of questions last week, and hopefully we'll have just as many this week that Michael can help you with. So let's get started. Are you ready to get started, hon?
I think so.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Okay,
Like
he is
SpongeBob.
ready. First question says, can you tell me how to play mobile games on PC without any emulator?
Well, let's go to this screen here. No, I have no idea how you would play mobile games on PC without an emulator. I do know that there is a link that you can use to go from your phone to have your screen mirrored on a Mac. I don't remember what it's called, but I know there's a way to do it, and I could probably figure that out for you. But from a PC perspective, I don't know if there's a way to capture your iPhone screen and put it on there, other than maybe something like OBS Ninja or something like that. I think might capture the actual screen and send it over. But you're just going to have to do some research and do a search on, mobile screen capture, and that'll probably give you everything you need to go ahead and have that on your screen and then put it up without having to emulate. But that would be my guess, is you need some sort of a screen capture software, and something like OBS Ninja might do it, but I'm not totally certain. Let's go to let's go here. Let's join Monica on the Monica cam. How are you doing today?
I am great. I am great.
Yeah, I'm a little frazzled. I'm not gonna lie.
I know it was a busy morning so far. I know, but we'll get there. We will settle in, and we will get there.
We're gonna drive on.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Move
We're
forward.
gonna try.
Yes. Okay. So next question. It comes from I am bees. T. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will butcher these names. I'm just gonna lay that out there. Sometimes I can figure them out, and sometimes I can't. So I do apologize. Question. Every time I want to record a video on OBS, I have to switch to my integrated GPU. Otherwise, I get a black screen, or there will be no video encoders at all showing on the settings. Why is that?
Oops. Let's see here. So the most likely scenario is, assuming that you're recording with OBS, if you don't have an encoder or something, especially if you're playing games, your CPU just might not be able to keep up. If you're recording, you always want to use your GPU anyways. You don't want to use something else. So I don't know why it would be kicking you to the internal GPU to do it, but there are settings in OBS. Let me see if I can grab it here. Alright, so if we go into settings, and we go to our output, and we go to our recording, there are settings in here where right here, you can force it to use your GPU and stuff like that. So just make sure the GPU is set to 0. If you have it set to something else, it might be trying to force it to use something else. So this might be where you've gone awry. That would be basically my only guess. Otherwise, it's some kind of weird hardware thing with your computer. So do a search on the OBS forums to see if somebody else has experienced anything like that. And if they have, they might be able to inform you. But I'm guessing it's this right here. You've got the internal GPU set instead of the regular one. So that's my guess. That's my guess. Chris Coney's in the house. What's up, Chris? Yes, if you haven't taken a moment to hit that thumbs up button down there, I really do appreciate it. We have almost 50 folks in the room. If you have a question, please ask it on the forum that Michael is posting in there, and we will get to it. I believe we are already over, I guess, 15 questions. Let's ask Monica. Where are we at, baby?
Right now, excuse me, right now we are at 13 questions.
All right. That's a weird, there's a weird little line here. Let me crop you up a piece.
Crop me up.
There we go.
We good?
Now that line is, yes, now the line is gone.
Okay. The line is gone. Okay. Next question comes from Simon Kimty. What will be the best OBS setting to stream on Facebook and game at the same time without losing stream and game quality with the following specs? CPU, Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigabytes of RAM, GTX 1050 Ti GPU, and 100 megabytes per second, roughly uploads around 10 to 25 millibytes per second. Millibytes, megabytes? I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm the geek. He knows what he's talking about.
All right, so honestly, I don't know. You've got to test. I do know that to use the Ryzen machine, the Ryzen stuff in OBS, there is a plugin. Let's go over to the tutorial. That's the wrong one. Let's go over here to the tutorial. So the Ryzen GPUs. You can see when I go into my output, I have my NVIDIA selected here. And if you want to use the Ryzen encoder, I'm pretty sure you have to install an extension or a plugin so that when you drop down your encoder, your Ryzen one is in there. And you definitely want to use that if you're going to be streaming, so it's encoding. But you're going to have to test your stream equipment and your stuff to be sure what you can actually stream at. It sounds like you have equipment that you shouldn't have to be worrying about the settings, because to be honest with you, it sounds like decent enough equipment to be able to stream a game and do all that stuff. But this right here is kind of standard setup, you know, 5,000 kilobits per second, all that kind of stuff. But I don't play games on my live stream, and believe me, this machine is a little bit older. You're going to want to go into your view, into your docs. You want to grab your stats, and you want to go ahead and test a live stream and see what your stats are, so that you know that your machine is handling. And this is stats for the wrong one. Let me bring up my other stats so that you guys could see what my actual stats are for the stream. So here we go. You can see I'm running low on disk space. I apologize, but I'm averaging 2.4 milliseconds per frame render. I'm not missing any frames. I'm not skipping any frames. I have 0 drop frames on my network, and that's what you want to see, and that's what you test for. The reason why I was able to get up late and have this stream so far go off without a hitch, other than the fact that I fat finger some buttons, is the fact that I test. So throw a game on there that you want to play on your live stream and go live and test it. You can set in Facebook so that you're not streaming to the public. You could set it to private and all that kind of stuff. So it's really not that hard. Make sure that you test everything, because I don't know what the proper settings are for your equipment. I built this equipment, so I know what my proper settings are. Someone else built your equipment, and you got to go ahead and do your thing and test it. What are my PC specs? I see somebody asking in the thing. I'm gonna have a video coming out, I think this coming week, that's gonna go over all the stuff that I use. All right, so if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask it. Just make sure that you do it in the form that Michael keeps posting in there, or Moss. Moss can post the link to the thing. And hello, Moss. It is really good to see you. Let's go over to the Monica cam and see what the next question is.
Next question. We have 21 questions in queue. I know some people are asking how many. We have 21 questions in queue. We are on, this is question number 5 of 21, just to tell you where we are, just benchmark. Okay, next question. Can you tell how we can make an OP thumbnail like PewDiePie and Mr. Beast without Photoshop and Pixlr?
No Pixlr either? What are we trying to do? Why are we making our own lives difficult? I don't understand. Why not Pixlr or Photoshop? You can do it on Canva or anything, but don't make your life so hard. Just use Pixlr or one of the other web-based things. I mean, I could show you how to do. I could show you how to make the PewDiePie thumbnail, but he has a tutorial out there that shows you exactly how to do it. Hold on. He shows you how to do it in Photoshop, but if you're going to use third-party software like Pixlr, you got to just kind of figure it out and be a little creative on your own. But if you haven't seen a PewDiePie video where he shows you how to do his thumbnails, hold on, let me go there. Let's see here. We got to go to the YouTubes first. I don't understand why are we avoiding. See, there you go. He sucks. He says it right there, but he shows you how to create this thumbnail. I'm gonna share this with you. Like PewDiePie needs me to be sharing his stuff. Come on.
I was gonna say, I'm shocked you're doing this.
I don't know why. I'm just a nice guy. But I don't understand why you would want to try to make your life difficult. Oh, we can't use Photoshop and we can't use Pixlr. What? So I'm supposed to search out what application you're going to use to make a thumbnail. Anything you use, you're going to have to try to figure it out because, you know, it's going to work a little different. But there's the link to that video if you want to check it out, and then you could try to emulate that in whatever application you decide you want to use to create your thumbnails. Let's go back to the Monica cam and and see what we got going on.
Yeah, you know, my response to that is, do you or do you not want challenging questions? There is a challenging question right there.
That is a challenging question because I have to determine in 1 second exactly what application I'm going to use to create a thumbnail, and it can't be one I've ever used before. Well, we'd probably go with GIMP. GIMP is free, but you got to download it. Pixlr works right off your browser. I don't know. I mean, GIMP works great most of the time, and it's almost just like Photoshop. I've used it in the past, so maybe that's your solution. You could probably follow that PewDiePie video and just do it in GIMP and get similar results. Maybe. What do we got, baby?
Okay, next question is from...
Hold on, wait. We've got somebody in the chat asking for subs. Please don't do that. Just don't do it. It doesn't make any difference on your channel if you're asking for subs here. I promise you, it does more harm than good. So just stop doing it. And if you continue to ask for it or whatever, hey, make friends in the chat, talk to them offline, whatever you want to do. But any of the, hey, come visit my channel, that kind of stuff, just don't. Because I'm telling you, it's going to hurt your channel more than it's going to help. I haven't been doing YouTube for 4 years without learning a few tricks. And trust me, the first 2 years were spent essentially destroying my channel by playing that game. And it took 2 years to recover from that. So just don't do it. Make some friends. Say hi. Get to know people, and visit them on Discord and that sort of stuff. Trust me, when you make friends, they're going to check out your channel anyways. There's no need to ask for it. And you don't want people who aren't interested in your content watching your channel. You just don't. It doesn't work. So go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. Next question comes from Cruto X. I do appreciate the phonetic spelling. Thank you very much. Cruto X asks, is there any way to make OBS start up faster?
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, I've never actually had a problem with the speed that OBS starts up. So I'm going to tell you right now, it probably has to do with how you have your stream configured. So if you have a lot of video assets or overlays or something like that, and let's go into my main screen here. If you have a lot of video assets and overlays and stuff like that, it's going to take that whole thing longer to load up your scene collection. Let's go here, and I'm going to load up, just to give you an example. If I load in a different scene collection, something like this, I don't have anything in there. Alright. I'm trying to find, yeah, this is bad because I'm getting rotisserie of audio. But if you have a lot of assets in there, the easiest way to fix a slow load time is to adjust your assets so they're using much easier codec and that sort of stuff. So what I do is I go to, where is it? Do I have it on my, yeah, right here. I'll go into the shutter encoder and I'll re-encode all of my assets so that they are tiny little WebM files instead of these big giant MOV files, and that will that makes a huge difference in how long it takes for OBS to open up and grab all your files. Generally speaking, if you have a pretty complex live stream, it's going to take a little while for those things to actually load up, and that's what you're running into. So let's go over to Monica and see what the next question is. You're up, babe.
Next question. How do I get started using camera filters in my OBS live stream using Mac?
All right, let's see here. So camera filters work exactly the same in Mac as they do in here. Let me actually load a camera in here. Video capture source. We're gonna go here. And so for folks that don't understand how to use filters for their camera, I'm going to show you right now. We could just right click on here and go to filters, and I could load in effect filters, video or audio. But generally speaking, the effect filters at the top are more audio related. The filters down here are other things. Now I'm pretty sure that some of the filters work in Mac, but here's the thing. Mac doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. In fact, Monica's using my Mac downstairs. It's one of the last ones that really had a dedicated graphics card, and it still doesn't work for shit. So there's no real point. If you're going to live stream, if you're serious about live streaming, get yourself a PC. Because even if Mac can integrate some of these filters into the live stream, they're not going to work well because there's no graphics card behind it. I had enough trouble on my Mac streaming guests on my scene like I'm doing with Monica. So if you're serious about live streaming, I just recommend that you get a PC for streaming. It doesn't mean that you can't work. It doesn't mean that you can't use your Mac. I use my Mac all the time. It just means I don't use my Mac for live streaming. You could get a $500 PC with an external or graphics card like an NVIDIA card. It'll work awesome for your live streams. You could set it up. You never have to touch the stupid thing other than to live stream. And guess what? It's always going to work. It's always going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. And then you use your Mac for everything else. That's what I do. So if you're struggling, you want to use filters and that sort of stuff, you might be able to load some, like the shader filter stuff might actually load up. That's what the user-defined shader filter is. Probably not going to mess with this because if you select the wrong one, you're almost guaranteed to lock up your OBS. But yeah, you can load up the shader filters on some Macs, but again, you're not going to want. You just probably don't want to do it because if you're going to do it, you're going to want to test, just like we do with PC. But Macs struggle to encode and stream at the same time. And so you're going to want to just do a lot of testing and make sure that you go up to your view and you go to your stats and you check your stats and make sure when you're doing all your testing that you're not getting problems. Yeah, unfiltered filter talk. That's exactly right, Walter. Because honestly, half of the filters in there don't work, or they're going to lock up your OBS. So you're going to want to definitely test. That's the only way that you can guarantee that something is going to work on your stream. And even then, it's only like 90%. You never know. You never know. Let's go see if we've got another question here.
As a matter of fact, we have 27 questions in queue right now. We're on question number 8. And as you can see, for anybody new to the stream or coming in, Michael from Tech Examined is posting a link to ask a question. If you have a question, if you could please quick fill out that form and submit it. It will come into queue for me, and then I will ask those questions to Michael. He doesn't answer them specifically off the chat because it interrupts the flow of the stream sometimes, and we want to make sure that the questions get answered as they come in. So that would be great. I appreciate it. Okay, next question is from Lance Mechanic, who sounds familiar. I think you may have been here before. Welcome back. Is there a way to either get Chrome to use less CPU during streaming or an alternative browser?
All right. Let's see what happens when you get 27 questions in chat. It could get very stressful. Yeah. It could get very stressful. All right. So the way, man, I use Chrome a lot. As you can see, if I open this up here, I have like 47 tabs open up here. You probably don't want to do that unless you have a pretty quality machine. So that's kind of the first step, is not to open 47 different screens. But I use Firefox as well, as you can see down here on my link. It takes up a lot less. It takes up a lot less clock cycles. I don't seem to have the same kind of problem that we have with Chrome, but some of the things that you might be looking to use don't work exactly right, which is why, as you can see right now, I'm not using it. I'm using Chrome. So you're kind of stuck with Chrome. I don't know of any tricks to make it work better, other than to make sure that it's completely updated, as new as you can have it. Maybe you're using an older version that had a lot of leaky problems in it or something like that. So just make sure it's totally updated and all that kind of stuff. Now, I have a question for the chat. Can you hear my air conditioner? Is it actually too loud? Do I need to turn down my air conditioning so that... I don't know. Let me know in the chat. And by the way, someone mentioned in the thing before... Oh, no. You guys are the best. I think that's actually one of these. Woo! Oh, Michael P. Thank you very much. Oh, man. Woo! So, yes, there is donations and there are super chats. And we do have a membership that you can join. Just like Michael P. has just donated to the stream. So we can jam, have some fun, do the thing. And you can do that as well. And mess up my flow of whatever I was talking about before. You affect the stream. It just takes me away to another time and place. But we do also have, this is a very long one, isn't it? Oh, I think so. We're just jamming it. You know it. I was asking about the AC. I'm not sure. Alright. Well, we're just going to keep jamming until this decides to go back to where it's supposed to go. But apparently, because it doesn't look like it's going to switch me back today. I'm having so much fun, too. I just might stay over here and dance. It'll be a big, giant dance party. Alright. I had to get back to the real world. So the air conditioning is on, but it's okay. You guys aren't going deaf by it. Awesome. I should talk for a second about my membership program. $20 is a long dance. That's right. Just like at the club that you know I'm talking about, Michael. When you pay $20, you want that long dance, you know? Anyway. Oh, probably don't get anything at the club these days for $20. Oh, now I lost my train of thought again.
Membership.
Yes, membership program. There are 3 different tiers. There's one that you can join that just supports the channel, and I really do appreciate it. It's folks that donate or join our membership program that do that really help to keep me doing what I'm doing. There's another tier where if you don't want to wait in line to with 20 some people in front of you for the live stream, you can just ask your questions in the Discord or in a private live stream that I'm going to have a couple of times a month. And then there's one that if you're looking for YouTube membership or YouTube mentorship, because you want to learn more about how YouTube works and how you can get more subscribers and gain views and that sort of stuff, there is another tier for that as well. So there is a link down below. It says join. You can click on there, choose your tier. It really does help support the stream, but it's also got some pretty cool perks for anyone who wants to check it out. So that's my little membership plug. Let's go over to Monica and see what the next question is, because I'm guessing they're piling up.
They're piling up. We now have 33 in queue, and we're on number 9. So we're getting there. We're getting there. What is the best practice to bring guests into OBS and send it out to Zoom or Teams?
All right. Well, the best practice to bring guests into OBS is probably the one that I use. So we're gonna do it right here on this scene. I'll click the plus. We're gonna go to display capture. And boom, there we go. We display capture my other display, which as you can see has the beautiful, amazing, fantastic, and wonderful Monica. And then I'm just going to go ahead. Now, this is just the display screen. So if I have 5 more guests in here, they'll all be on here in different layouts and all that kind of stuff. If I just happen to have only 1 guest, you have to use your imagination a little bit. But what I'm doing for my stream is I'm just capturing this area right here, which has all of my guests in it. As you can see, it's very nice of Monica to wear a red shirt today so that it's not difficult for me to use the green screen. So then all of our guests will be right here. Then I'm going to go up to Tools, and I'm going to go to NDI Output Settings, and I'm going to output my NDI signal, and then I will bring that signal into Zoom. It will have all my guest audio, it will have all of my audio, and it will be awesome. I have a video coming out in the next 2 weeks or so that tells you how to go from OBS to Zoom without having the problems that a lot of people are running into with the resolution issue. I actually had somebody contact me about a week ago, leave a comment to tell me how to fix that. So I do show you exactly how to fix that problem. But that is how I would add a guest into my live stream. And then if I needed to go out to Zoom, I would use NDI to do it. A lot of people ask why I would use NDI instead of using the virtual camera. And that is because, and you can't see the virtual camera because my camera's over it. It's a virtual camera right here. I don't use it, and the reason why I don't use it is because it doesn't carry audio. And I need to carry audio in my signal, and NDI does that. Virtual camera doesn't, and so you end up with audio that's out of sync. So there you go. That's the scoop. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Yes, let's go over to the Monica question cam here and see what we got.
Next question comes from Further Secrets, asking why are some areas of the display from his camera still black or green, or not generating correctly in OBS with background remover plugin?
Let's see. So if I had to guess why that happens, I would say lighting. If you notice, let's put that back up on screen again. Let's go to our display capture. You're going to notice when I show you this display, we have our green screen lit very well. But if you're not using a green screen, you still have to make sure that your subject, at the very least, is well lit, to make it easier for the computer to remove the background. So if you're having blotchiness or whatever in the backdrop, your best bet is to go ahead and make sure that everything is properly lit. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. A lot of people had problems with the plugin that I did for the green screen video. A lot of people. And I understand that plugins sometimes can be a little bit problematic with YouTube. So I think on Monday, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen on Monday, I'm going to put out another video that's going to have an alternative way to use green screen background without having a green screen. And I think you guys are going to love it because it crashes a lot less. It works on Mac. It's going to also work in Streamlabs OBS and on XSplit and all that other whatever other software that you use. And it's not going to take up like 40% of your CPU. So I think it's probably a better, more elegant solution to the green screen problem than using the plugin. And that video should be out, I think, Monday, possibly Friday if it's not Monday. But that's the plan. So just in case. All right, let's go to the Monica question cam again and see what we got going on. Let's put her here. She's getting so high.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, this one comes from Fozaya asking how to highlight comments from Facebook Live like in StreamYard, but with OBS Studio.
Oh. All right, I have a video on this. Let me get rid of you here. I have a video on this, but you're going to use an application called Twidget. I'm going to link that video in here. Here is the thing, and so let's see. If I wanted to select question, let's see. There we go. You could see. Oh, sorry. Over there, down there, there's a question in there that is selected now. See, and I can unselect that one, and I can highlight Mr. Stream Elements question, and maybe even point in the right way. You could do this. I have a video showing you how to do this. So let me show you where the video is. Let me link to you that video that shows you how to do this amazing thing. Let's see here. I want to exit out of there, and we're gonna go into content, and right here, it's not even that old. It's not even that old. It's a very, very new video that shows you how to do exactly what you're trying to do very quickly and very easily. Just let me pop that in the chat here for you so that you can select chat and put it on your stream just like this. Thank you for subscribing. SL Bottled KOR. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Let's pop over and see what Monica's got going on here in the Monica cam. Very nice and serene you looking today.
Oh, okay, good. I like that. Another question from Fuzaya. My download speed is around 6 meg, and my upload speed is around 2 only. What's the best settings to have a clean live stream, especially in Facebook Live using OBS Studio?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, you're not listening again.
I'm listening, but these questions where, hi, I'm downwind from a large hurricane at 987 miles an hour, and someone farted, and I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out whether they had ham and cheese for lunch or what. I don't know what your equipment is.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
It says my download speed is around 6. Is that megabytes per second? And my upload
well, see,
speed
sometimes people will list it as megabytes. Sometimes they'll list it as megabits. So that's just another thing where I don't really know. But we're going to go with 6 megabytes per second.
Yep, I think that's probably it. My upload speed is around 2 megabytes per second only. What's the best settings to have a clean live stream, especially in Facebook Live using OBS Studio?
What was that? The best settings to have...
What part did you miss?
What, the last part where the question is.
Okay, what's the best settings to have a clean live stream, especially in Facebook Live using OBS Studio?
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a second. The best settings in OBS. So you don't want to... Somebody's over here talking about my revenue. See, that's why we live off donations. Idea plays, because you can see there isn't much there. Let's go ahead and go into settings. And what did he say his His upload was?
His upload was around 2, but his download is 6.
So his upload is around 2, which means that he can't live stream at a bit rate higher than 1,000 bits per second, which probably means that he's not going to be getting much live streaming action on that thing unless the information that he gave us is wrong. If the information that he gave us is wrong, then then maybe the upload speed is higher. But at an upload speed of 2, your bit rate to be half of that would be basically 1,000. And there aren't any live streams you can do in high def at 1,000 kilobits per second. It just doesn't work. So either you're reading the numbers wrong or something like that, but you need to probably upgrade your internet connection to have any chance. And that if you're going to stream in high def to Facebook, you're probably going to want to be at 6,000 kilobits per second or so. I've done a couple of questions on this, so I've done a couple of videos on this. So just search for videos that talk about the so it's 2 megabits per second. I've checked. All right. Well, basically 2 megabits per second is the same as 2,000 kilobits per second. And you can see what the problem is here. You can't live stream at your maximum kilobits per second. And if your maximum kilobits per second is 2,000 and you need 4,000 minimum for a high def stream, you're going to need to contact your internet provider, because you want at least 6,000 or so megabits per second if you're going to you're going to want it to be 6 megabits per second if you're going to stream at maybe 3. You basically want double. Mine is 12, so I stream at 6. So 2 is just not going to get it done. You're going to need to get your you're going to need to go ahead and get your internet provider to up your stuff. I know it costs money, but you're going to have to go that route. So let's go over to Monica and see what we got going on here with the next question. I know people never want to hear that their equipment or their connection just isn't very good, but...
Okay, we now have 42 questions in queue. Keep them coming in, guys. I did see somebody say that the form wasn't working. It seems like people are able to get their questions in, so if you could maybe try it again. But this is basically the only way that we're going to answer those questions, so if you could please fill out the form and submit it, and then we'll get to it as we get through the queue. Question, can you tell me how, now this may be on the one you just answered about the green screen video. Can you tell me how I can do low CPU with the green screen thing you made in the video? I was trying it and my CPU is going to 70%. That's why he wants to know how to lower it. Is that what you answered? Okay, all right.
I did. And you guys, do I look good? Do I look younger and fresh? I think so. I just want, so if you want to fix your CPU problem, I have a video coming this week that has a different procedure for using the green screen background without a green screen. That's really going to help, because I know that plugin uses a lot of CPU. Just so you know, for your machine to do that work, it does take some power. So even the one that I'm going to show this week might struggle depending upon how old your computer is. But if you, I think it's going to work a little bit better. I think it's going to work a little bit better. Oh my goodness. We've got one. Here we go. Thank you so much, Fireside. I really do appreciate it. He says, thanks for helping us. I have a 13 megabit per second upload. Why does my stream still freeze or buffer? Fireside, I will show you that in a moment after I get done doing... Oh, or we're back. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Fireside. I really do appreciate it. I'm telling you that your donations and tips and everything really do help out. Let's go over here to the tutorial screen. Why does my stream still buffer? So we're going to go up to view and stats. I actually am working with somebody in the membership program right now who was having this exact problem. Their upload speeds and everything are fantastic. They shouldn't have a problem. My upload speeds are 12 megabits per second, so you're actually getting better than what I get. But their problem is when they go over here and they look at their average frames per second time to render, frames missed due to render lag, frames skipped frames due to encoding. Their machine was actually only, their machine wasn't able to keep up. So they were basically getting 2 frames per second because whatever they were doing, their machine just was not powerful enough to keep up. So Fireside Coffee, you need to open up your stats by going into view and then docs and then stats. And you need to go ahead and look and see you need to go ahead and look and see if this is where your problem is. If this is where your problem is, it's because your encoder cannot keep up with the stream. So the game you're playing is too intensive, your graphics card isn't set up properly, you're not using a graphics card because you're on a laptop, which you shouldn't do, things like that. Because if whatever you've got here, down here in the bottom, with your bitrate and stuff is fine, you shouldn't be buffering. So buffering doesn't just happen with your connection. Buffering can happen with this piece up here with your machine not keeping up. So you want to go ahead and open up your stats window and check and see if that top side is causing problems. Let's go ahead and get back to the questions. What do we got here, babe?
We are at 16 of 48 questions. This question is coming from Apaya II. In your opinion, which platform is better for new streamers?
Oh man, hold on, I just went on to the wrong screen. What was that? Which platform is better for streamers, Twitch or YouTube?
For new streamers, Twitch
For
or
new
YouTube.
streamers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always going to pick YouTube, and I'm going to tell you why. It's flipping back and forth. It's having a grand old time. In a couple of seconds, it's gonna switch me to another scene because it's still doing its thing. Okay. This is what happens when you have buttons that do different stuff. So there we go. Now we're back. All right. So what happens in Twitch if you go live and you're doing something like I don't know, if you're playing the most popular game, no one's ever gonna know it because there's 100 popular streamers playing the popular game on Twitch. And so the only way you could possibly get noticed is if you happen to be in on a game that a lot of people are talking about but not a lot of people are playing yet. The simple fact is that people finding you on Twitch is a complete crapshoot, whereas people finding you on YouTube, there's an algorithm that YouTube gives people the ability to find your content based on what your content is, that Twitch just doesn't have. There is no discovery in Twitch whatsoever. So personally, I would recommend any new streamer or anyone stream on YouTube. Create some highlight videos that make it easy for people to search for you and all that kind of stuff, because YouTube has discoverability that Twitch just doesn't offer. In fact, I don't know that Twitch will survive 10 more years if they don't solve this problem. Because the only way to get popular or to get big or to grow on Twitch is to create a YouTube channel. Because there's no other way for people to discover you. So why not just start out on YouTube? It just makes more sense. So maybe not the most popular opinion on the planet, but definitely that's where I fall on that. So let's go get another question.
The thing is, people are asking the questions, and you just have to tell them the truth. You got to tell them as you know it. Okay, question. This is from Antioch Speedway by PR. Antioch Speedway by Promotions. Just going to say it that way. Apologize for that. We currently stream the races live every Saturday night using a Live U Solo as an encoder. Is there a way that we can incorporate OBS into our stream so that we can use lower thirds and add commercials?
Huh. All right, so I'm not super familiar with, what was the name of the thing they're using?
Live U Solo as an encoder.
All right, so I'm not super familiar with LiveView Solo. I'm guessing it's just some service that does screen captures or something. There isn't any reason why you couldn't capture all of that or anything that comes in on your OBS. Let's put this stats window down. I mean, you could do it just by using the display capture that I'm using here. All that's doing is capturing the monitor that's up there. So if you have the stuff running on another monitor or whatever, you just capture it in OBS, you can broadcast it, and that allows you to put lower thirds and whatever else you want right on top of your stream. So yeah, window capture or display capture should allow you to do what you're trying to do, which it sounds like you're basically capturing the races and doing your own commentary over top of that. So just capture the screen that you're watching the race on, put it in OBS and put your graphics over top of it, and you can do all kinds of really cool stuff to rebroadcast that. So yeah, look at that. Kelly Reynolds is in the house. It has been a minute. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing awesome. All right, let's go back over to Monica and get to the next question. I'm whipping through these today, so I apologize if I missed somebody saying hi to me in the chat. It is because we've got a lot of questions that we have to get to.
I did see Dad Wars pop in too, so welcome back, Dad Wars. It's good to see you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Next question is from Anil Kumar asking, he's facing an issue to connect Android mobile to MacBook Pro via OBS Ninja.
Okay. I don't know what issue you're having. Uh-oh. It's almost time.
Almost time.
Yeah, it might happen. I see it down in the thing, but it's gonna switch scenes on me here any second. Here we go. Thank you, another space nut. He says your videos, you make me a better YouTuber. Thank you. That is absolutely my goal. It is absolutely my goal, and I really, really do appreciate the channel support. Believe me, every little bit helps. There we go. So he's trying to use Android to send over signal to a computer, I think. What did he say?
Question. Trying to connect Android mobile to MacBook Pro via OBS Ninja.
Okay. So OBS Ninja, I don't have an Android phone, so I can't really speak to how OBS Ninja works with Android. I also cannot speak to how well OBS Ninja works on Mac. So I'm not exactly sure, like you're not very specific on what actual problem you're having. But I don't think it's impossible to use OBS Ninja to connect an Android phone to a Mac. The big question is, wouldn't it be easier and probably a lot more reliable to just get a webcam? Unless you're trying to connect somebody who's remote with OBS Ninja, like maybe a friend down the street or someone outside, and you could connect their OBS Ninja camera to your stream. But in that case, why not just use Streamlabs Melon like what I'm doing? Monica is not in this location, but I'm using a good webcam instead of an Android phone, because this is what you're trying to do is so reliant on the connection that Android phone has with the network that OBS Ninja, between OBS Ninja, the Android phone, and all that connection stuff, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have problems. You use something like Streamlabs Melon, where you just grab the screen, and it makes life easier. So please do me a favor. I'd like to answer your question, but I need more specifics about what actual problem you're having. I can't just know that you're using Android and Mac and OBS Ninja. Well, what's not working? Is OBS Ninja not working? Is the Android not working? There's not enough there for me to really be able to help you, unfortunately. So let's go see what Monica's got going on here.
Okay, next question. How best to set up OBS for Core i5 GeForce MX130 for recording 48 frames per second with no lag or a frames per second drop in his game?
All right, start at the beginning again because I missed some vital numbers there.
Right, they want to set up OBS for Core i5 GeForce MX130 for recording 48 frames per second with no lag or frames per second drop in game.
All right. So the first problem is your equipment is probably not good enough to record 48 frames per second with no lag in game. But if you're just recording and not trying to stream, you might be able to pull it off. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in here, you're going to go into recording, and you're going to make sure that you select your graphics card, which it doesn't sound like you have one, which is what your real problem is probably going to be. But your recording settings are going to be somewhere around 60,000 kilobits per second with max quality, and all this stuff you can adjust. But chances are your main problem, and let's see here. We got to go to video. This right here, you're dropping down, you're trying to do 48 frames per second. Maybe. I mean, like I said, this is all dependent upon your equipment. And when you are recording, you can do the same thing. You can go up to view. It should be around 60,000 kilobits per second though. So that's the kind of throughput you need to make it really high quality. But you also still have to go up to view and stats and see if your machine is able to keep up. If your machine's not able to keep up, there's no magic formula that fixes it other than better equipment. There is no magic formula. Either your equipment is good enough to do what you're trying to do, or you have to scale it down from 1080 to 720, or drop it from 48 frames per second to 30 frames per second. There is no magic fix for equipment that can't keep up. There just isn't. That's why I tell people, don't invest in a Mac that's better than the Mac you have, because you're still going to be disappointed. If live streaming is what you want to do, then get the right equipment and keep the Mac that you already have to do the other stuff with. It's a lot easier to just get the right equipment when you buy it than it is to get the wrong equipment and then wonder why stuff's not working. It honestly, just go out there. And that doesn't mean you need a supercomputer. I am not using a supercomputer. This is like a 6-core i7 with a 10-year-old NVIDIA GeForce. I think it's a 970. This is not by any stretch. I mean, just for reference, we've had the 970s came out like 10 years ago. They've done the the 1080s, the 2080s, the 3080s. We're 4 generations behind the video card that I'm using. The point is that you got to get the right stuff when you start to do it. And it looks like we're gonna flip over in a second. Yeah, like a Core i3 prod by Legend mentions. Oh, here we go. Hoping this channel to keep growing for the community. Thank you, Argus. I really do appreciate that. You are very kind. I'm hoping the channel keeps growing as well. I want to make sure that I keep helping as many people as I can. So you don't want to be, first of all, if you're going to be live streaming, just get a PC. Don't get a laptop. I like laptops as much as the next guy. I do. I love my laptop. It's great for editing on a road, but you're not seeing Alpha Gaming. Tim the Toolman is Tim the Tapman is not using a laptop. And I know you're going to say, well, those guys make money doing this, and I understand that. But you're not going to get to the point where they're at using equipment that you already know is substandard and not working or not proper. You got to get yourself a PC, a desktop PC. And once you have that, guess what? If you don't have the right CPU in it, you yank the other one and you put one in. It makes it so much easier. You can't do any of that with a laptop. You get what you get. And usually it's a Core i3, which isn't going to work. So just keep that in mind. If you're asking questions because you're frustrated with the fact that your stuff is not working properly, if you haven't opened up that stats window to look and see why, chances are you're probably using equipment that's not powerful enough to do what you want to do. Let's go into here and get the next question.
Okay, next question is a multi-part question, so I'm going to ask you one question at a time. It's from Shaitani Gamers, has a gaming channel. He wants to know the best settings for OBS for low-end PC to stream games. That's part one.
All right, so basically another settings question. Open up your stats window and test. It's the best I can give you. Because I don't know what your stats are. Your stats are going to tell you what you can do and what you can't. If your stats are all red when you're trying to live stream or when you're testing in HD, then you're going to have to redo your assets in 720 and test again. And if it doesn't work in 720, then you're going to have to redo them in 340 or whatever and test again. That's what you got to do. That's the only, I can't tell you how to build your stream. I can give you ideas on what equipment you should own, but I don't know. There's a million different types of equipment out there, so I can't tell you what's going to work on your machine. You just gotta you gotta take care of it. He answered questions already. You need a powerful machine. That's exactly right, Dad Wars. Go ahead, honey. What's the next part?
Next part, can you please also show how to manage audio for gaming and Spotify?
Sure. Let's go ahead. That's one I can actually do. All right. So we're here in OBS. You notice I don't have anything in here. If I add Monica in there and I want to add audio, I've got to go up to audio output capture and then click OK. And then I drop this down and I'm getting all my audio, obviously, on my earphones. So boom. And this is basically the same. Now there are plugins that you can add for Spotify or something like that. But now when Monica talks, go ahead and talk on.
Next question.
There you go. You could see her voice going in the voice meter right there.
Yep.
So if you want to get your desktop audio, that's how you do it. You have everything routed to your headphones and then you put it in there. So if I open up the Spotify app right now, we would be listening to that because that would be playing through my headphones. So that's how you're going to get that. Now there are some apps out there that will route your Spotify audio directly into OBS, but right there, that's the easiest way that you would do that. So let's go ahead and hide these. And we'll go back to Monica and get to the next question.
The next piece of the question, now this is a big one. They say they watch your videos a lot and love your videos, so they appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I learned a lot. He says, I want a video on every single setting and every single thing in OBS on one video. He searched, but any video has not been that much. There hasn't been any that he could find like that. So
that would be like a 35-minute video, and unfortunately, nobody would click on it except for you. I try to kind of
large ask.
Yeah, I kind of try to piece it out. I try to piece it out so that I cover a little bit here and a little bit there, not to overwhelm folks, because there's so many new new folks out there just trying out OBS. So I try to give out the basic settings for a good stream and the basic stuff. But anything beyond that requires you to actually do the work and test. And that's how you're going to learn. And then 4 months from now, you'll be better at OBS than I am. Because the way that we learn as human beings is by testing things, messing them up, and then fixing them. And you can't learn that by asking me a question about what's the perfect settings. I don't know. The perfect settings are the ones that you test that really work for you, because everyone's equipment is different. Everyone's internet connection is different. Everyone's microphones are different. Everyone's video cameras are different. So I don't know what your perfect settings are. All right, babe, what's the next question?
Okay, this is a longer one, so I'm going to read it, and then I can reread what you need me to. It's coming from Fozia, who asked a question previously. Question: does OBS Studio use more internet connection than StreamYard or other streaming services? If so, how can I live stream my OBS Studio, but with the StreamYard service or whichever other one, because wants to use my current OBS Studio overlays that I have downloaded, but not from Fiverr, and also because my internet connections aren't strong enough.
All right. So this is another question about trying to do more, trying to trick the system to get more out of the system than the system really has. Now you can use OBS to go to, you can use OBS to output to Zoom or whatever. You can just use your virtual camera. You can output to StreamYard or whatever. But if your OBS can't handle what you're trying to do, then exporting it to StreamYard isn't going to help you. Exporting it to Zoom or another streaming software isn't going to help you. So if the purpose is to get that stuff into StreamYards because you're trying to create a more dynamic broadcast or whatever, that could be fun. If the purpose of trying to go from OBS to StreamYard is because you're taking less stress off of your computer, that's not the case. Because in order to use StreamYard, you not only have to have OBS open, but then you have to have your Google Chrome opened and possibly other things. The best way to do it is just you have OBS open, put in your settings, and stream. You don't have to have anything else open. Excuse me. So there aren't any tricks to fixing bad equipment other than basically dialing back your resolution, dialing back the bits per second. And all of that dials back to quality. I know it sucks when your equipment won't do what you want it to do, but that's unfortunately the answer sometimes. Let's go. What do you got, babe?
Okay, next question. The question is, do you play games? But I'm guessing that means, do you have a gaming channel?
Let's see here. So I do play games, although, man, I wish I had more time to do it. The last thing I really messed around with or played was Valheim. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't play. I don't have like a streaming. I have a bunch of streaming channels, but I don't play games on a stream, mostly because it's just not. To me, when I'm streaming, that's. I like to do this kind of streaming. If I'm going to be doing something else, well, that's where my relaxing time comes in. So Monica and I threw the Valheim on the TV downstairs, and we would watch it and have fun. But it's not something I was going to stream. So I don't really stream games. But I do enjoy other people that do. Sometimes I watch, but usually game streams aren't really my jam. Let's go. Wow, we're getting the subscribers are pouring in. Horizon, and man, they're just popping. Let's go over here. What do we got next, baby?
Next question. This comes from Bloodvis. Question is it better to enable ultra?
Comes from Blood what? Yeah.
Bloodvis.
Bloodvis.
Yeah, Bludvis.
Okay.
My question is it better to enable ultra low latency for recording gameplay?
Okay. So we've got right here, as far as recording goes, let's go to our output and recording. There's no latency at all recording wise. The only area that you find latency is when you're kind of streaming. So you don't really, and latency is only an issue. Like everyone always asks, oh, well, there's such a delay, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as, I mean, the only reason why it matters is because it takes a couple of seconds for you to see a person's comment on your live stream, and nobody wants to have to wait for that. But you kind of get used to it. It's something you have to work with. I would rather have 30 seconds of latency and a quality stream than ultra low latency with all kinds of buffering and problems. So just keep that in mind. The latency is something that you could do, but you know, for recording, it's not something you ever have to worry about. Recording is nearly instantaneous. So you know, when you're setting this up, this is kind of what we're using right here. We're using 60,000 frames per second with the max quality and a high profile. You can use the look ahead and psycho visual tuning, and those two are gaming settings. If you look at the question mark right here, those are gaming settings that are meant to really dial in fast moving gaming type stuff on your screen. So if you're gaming and you're recording, those two are the ones you want to use. But latency or anything like that, you can't control that. Because the latency for an actual recording is so small that it's not something you're ever really going to notice. You only really notice in latency for streaming. Let's go back to the Monica Cam. And so what do we got? How many questions are we at?
We have 57 questions. We're on question number 26.
So we're kind of keeping up.
Kind of keeping up. Yeah, we're doing good. Doing good. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
When I start OBS, I get a message telling me I have a number of missing files. I haven't moved anything. Is there a way of stopping this?
Okay. So, if you're getting, let's go over here. And we'll cancel this. So if you're getting a bunch of missing file things, and I might actually be able to get that error over here. Nope. What it means is that you've got scenes set up and somehow it can't find something. It could be a stinger. It could be an overlay. It could be anything. And all you have to do is go and right click on the item, go to properties, and locate it. For the preview video here, if I right click on it, go to properties, maybe the video isn't in here. So you could browse and find the video and it will fix the problem. Chances are that's where you're at. That's where your problem is coming. Something that you loaded up it's not finding it. If you have a really complex stream, sometimes this happens. It could be a real pain in the booty to figure out what actually it's not finding. The other way to fix it is just to go into scene collection, create a new scene collection, and then put the assets back in there, and then just remove the old scene collection and that error message will go away. If you don't know how to do that, you just go into scene collection. You could go to duplicate or you could go to new, and then you can select one and actually remove it, and that might solve your problem as well. Let's go over, boop. Let's look at Swimmy Guy. I'm gonna go to the beach. There you go, babe. What's next?
The beach. We're on the beach. I want to say hi to WrestleMania. I see WrestleMania's in the house. It's been a while. It's good to see you here. There is also JP is in the house. I think I may know who that is. So hello. It's really good to see you here. And next question comes from Bodan Sveriduk. While streaming with the webcam and other overlays in OBS, can you record the same screen without a webcam, overlays, or voice from the microphone?
All right. So I had this question actually before. And what it is okay, so you've got a scene set up in OBS, right? Maybe I've got Monica's camera in here. Let's do doop and so let's say we've got a complicated scene. We got Monica's camera in here. We're gonna add another camera. We'll add, is my camera? Yeah, we'll add my camera in there. And we'll have that in there. And then we'll add, let's add a background right in here. Media source. We're just gonna load a file in here. You're making a lot of noise over there, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, JP, I don't know if. Oh, sorry.
All right. So then we got a background in here. So now, let's say that this background or one of these cameras, basically the question is, excuse me. Basically the question is, can you remove one of these cameras or can you record each of these cameras separately? And the true answer is that there kind of is a way that you can record them all at the same time separately. The easiest way to do that is to go into settings and then go to your let's see, your video here. And you see how you have your base canvas as 1920 by 1080? You can type anything that you want into your base canvas and your output resolution. So let's say that I wanted to have 3 cameras in there and I wanted to record all 3 cameras but not necessarily on top of one another. What I might do is I would go into my base canvas resolution and I would multiply the width of one camera by 3 times. So 1920 times 3, and so it would be whatever it is. And I would just type that in there and it would make my canvas that wide. And then I'd go in and I'd put one camera here and one camera here, because this would be super long, and to put the last camera here. So now all I have to do when the stream is done, and then you could do the audio, by the way. Yes, you can do the audio in different tracks. So if I were to right click here, I can record my audio in this track, and this audio in this track, and this audio in this track. So essentially we have all 3 cameras spread out, and then we're recording that, and we're recording all 3 audios in different tracks. When you load that into your DaVinci Resolve or your Premiere Pro or whatever, all you have to do is zoom or whatever on the specific camera that you want to at that time. Or you can double the footage. You can have each camera, place them wherever you want. The point is, you have the 3 separate cameras in one scene. Sure, it's super wide, but when you're in editing, that doesn't matter. You just move it around. You put it where you want. So, so there we go. Super easy to do. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for, but if you're recording it, it's because you want to use it later. And that's the easiest way to easily record 3 cameras at the same time, and get what you want with 3 separate audio tracks at the same time. Is it a little bit of work? Yep. But nobody ever said it was going to be easy. Oh, let's go. Let's go and hear what the next question is.
Next question is from Mitch Heyman asking, is DaVinci Resolve your video editor of choice?
DaVinci Resolve is my free video editor of choice. I use Premiere Pro. I use DaVinci Resolve for my tutorials, because it doesn't make any sense to limit the number of people who can try to do the things that I'm doing. And when you use something like DaVinci Resolve, which is totally free, that means that everyone can try it. And if someone is a professional in Adobe Premiere or something like that, when I show them how to do it in DaVinci Resolve, they're going to be able to figure out how to get the same result in Adobe. So I use DaVinci for all my tutorials because I don't want to exclude anyone from being able to try to get the same results that I got. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, next question. Thoughts on OBS Ninja, and is there any way to stream a DJI drone to it?
DJI gives you the tools that you could use to stream your DJI drone footage if you wanted to. It's actually not that difficult, and you don't need OBS Ninja to do it. My thoughts on OBS Ninja, it's fine. It's, you know, it's a great way for somebody who's on a $0 budget to have an extra camera or a camera at all in their live stream. The first thing I would do the second that you get a job and $20 in your pocket is go on to Amazon and buy a webcam. But in a pinch, OBS Ninja will allow you to add your phone as a webcam and all that stuff, and that's fine. But I wouldn't, it's not something you're going to use long term. It's something that you would use when you're just starting out to see if live streaming is for you, basically. All right, babe, what do we got?
Okay, next question. We're on question 30 of 62. If anyone else has a question, please, there's a link in the chat to ask questions. I do see some questions coming in, but we can only answer them if they come in through that form. So please put them on the form and we will get to them when they come up in queue. Question, is there a way to create a countdown for a time in OBS? For example, I want my stream to start automatically, to automatically switch to my intro at 9 a.m. and then automatically start recording. I don't want to have to set a countdown, but the time.
Okay, let's go over here to our tutorial screen. And there is right here, there is a plugin called Automatic Scene Switcher. Let me see. I haven't seen anyone really use this one in a while, but Advanced Scene Switcher. Yeah, the easiest way to get through these is to kind of just scroll down and you'll eventually find it. But what so what this does is it allows you to put in a sequence of scenes that you want to go from and to, and you can have a sequence of scenes that you want to go from and to, and the time in between each scene that you want to have. Now there was another thing thrown in there. I want to be able to kick off something or other in the middle of that. This may not be able to do that. This is mostly just to switch scenes. Like so, you can't switch this scene, and then have it kick off your recording or something like that. That's just not something that this does. But it's not something that's impossible to set up with an application like a Stream Deck or something. You could easily do that using a Stream Deck. But you can also go into your settings and you can go into general. I think it's general, or it could be advanced. One of these has a thing where you can automatically force it to record anytime that you're live streaming. Just make sure that you test. Use your stats window and test to make sure that your machine is capable of live streaming and and recording at the same time, because I wouldn't do it on my machine. So that should tell you something. Let's go over. I don't understand. All right, I'm gonna go over here to the main screen. We have somebody in chat who's asking me to say his name. What purpose? You're not going to. I don't even know how many folks are actually in the stream, but what is that going to do? It doesn't. It's not going to drive any traffic to your channel. It doesn't make you famous because I'm nobody. I don't understand. I don't understand people's obsession with coming into a live stream and hearing their name. It makes no sense. If seriously this is your massive goal in life, I think it's time to get another hobby or something. I really do. I really do. Let's go over to see how many more questions we have. Boom.
Boom. We are on question 31 of 63, halfway. For now, if you guys have questions, keep sending them in. We are here till the questions are done. This next question is from Agus, saying, "Greetings, Pennsylvania from Malaysia. Hello. My question is, how do I add a guest or multiple guests to my live stream in OBS Studio, but using Google Meet? Which platform is better to add guests in OBS Studio? I've been exploring with the NDI plugins, but I just can't help myself. Thanks for helping."
Okay. I love this question. I love this question because honestly, this is one of those questions that kicked off the actual popularity of my live stream. How to, yeah, Monica, bundle up, Dad Dwarf says. How to add guests to your live stream. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. We're going to go in here to the tutorial. And there are a bunch of different applications. There isn't any reason why you couldn't do this with Google Meet as well. I wouldn't recommend it, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this right here is the Monica cam. If I can catch it. There we go. So let's disable the rest of this stuff here for the time being. And so if I reset this, if I go to transform and I reset the transform, you could see that this is just a window. So it's a window for Streamlabs Melon, and that's the application that I'm using to add guests. In this case, I have one guest, but you can have 20. So you're wondering why there are two people over here? Well, one is my camera. So if I have Monica maximized right now, but if I actually go to the right screen, I can unmaximize, and this right here is my camera. I'm not running a camera to it. It's only in the scene so that Monica can hear me. But I could invite more guests. I could have 20 guests here, and then we can use all of these different methods for being able to see the guests. And all I'm doing is taking this window, and I am cropping out everything else. And so the reason why I would use this over Google Meet or something like that, let's go to the right screen. The reason why I would use this over Google Meet or over something like that is because I know that this screen right here is going to be managed by Melon. So if I get new guests or whatever, I know that Melon is going to place those guests in there. If I wanted to, I could have Melon put the names of the person up here in the top of the screen. So I don't have to create the names. I don't have to do anything. It's going to automatically do that. In fact, let me show you, just in case. Let's go to reset the transform again. And if I go up here, we could go to menu, design. Is it not there? It is text. Not there. Settings. Right here. So I can have an indicator on who's speaking. Show names. If I click that on, you can see Monica's name, top right hand corner. So if I crop that out, then her name is always going to show up. So I mean, I can basically count on Melon to do all of the work. So I don't have to do any of it. I just have to crop the screen and place it where I want. So like that. And then I can just add that there. I can add, and of course there can be up to 6 or 8 or 10 guests on here. So the end result of using Melon as that would be this right here. And there you go. I should get rid of that because that doesn't look good. There we go. So that's the end result of using Melon. And like I said, that's only adding one guest. You can add 5 or 6 or 10 using the same process. All right, babe, go ahead.
Okay, next question is from Zimby. When I put the background removal plugin into my OBS, it didn't show up, even though I put them in the correct location in the OBS Studio in my roaming folder. How can I fix?
That's the problem. The roaming folder. That's not your OBS. That is not your OBS. And I'm guessing that every one of the 587,000 people who put this exact same question in the comments did it in their roaming folder. So let's get this squared away. I'm going to go to my tutorial screen here. Boom. If I go into Windows, so we go to our local disk, and you know, they're using the users area, and they're in their app data and their local roaming, blah blah blah. They're putting it in here, right here. This is not where your plugins go. I know for certain that I mentioned the fact that this is not where your plugins go in the live stream. Your plugins are going to be in your program files, and then they're going to be, I don't have my OBS in directory in here because that's not where I put it, which is obviously what's confusing people. You're not interested in all the only thing that is in your users, this folder right here, the users roaming folder. The only thing that's there is your profile information, not your plugin information. Nothing is there. So in order to get to the correct information, you have to go to the root folder. And in my case, I have it in this OBS right here, OBS Studio. So yours is probably in program files, just like I said in the video. It's not in roaming profiles or anything like that. If you don't see bin and data in there, then you're not putting it in the right folder. If we look here, I would be willing to bet it's not going to be. If we go into users and we go in here and we go to OBS, there's no bin, there's no data. And that's because this is not the right folder. This is just a folder that holds your profile data and your configuration data. If you want to use the plugin, you have to put it in the proper directory. And so that would be probably, most likely, program files OBS-Studio or program files 86 OBS-Studio. So please, all the folks out there asking the exact same question in the comments, you're not copying it into your profile. You're copying this into your actual program data files, and those are in your program files, more than likely, unless you're like me and you specifically installed them somewhere else. If you're putting these files in your profile area under users, roaming or anything like that, you're putting it in the wrong place. And then you're just continuing to ask the same question in the comments, even though I've answered it 987 times. Oh, all right, babe, let's go here. And
okay. Ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
We have a question from Ian Johnson. Excuse me, Ian Johnson saying, how do you keep track of your plugins and know when to update them to the latest versions?
How do I keep track of my plugins and know when to add? Know when to update to the latest version. Okay, so there's a kind of a rule of thumb with PC especially, and that is that if it works, then don't fix it. So if I have plugins that I use and they are working, I leave them go. I do not mess with them. I do not fix them. I do not update them unless an update comes out that I'm told about that seems like it would be something that I would use. But other than that, I do not update plugins or anything like that, because if they work and they do what they're supposed to do, then I don't worry about it. So just keep that in mind. Once they're on there, if they function and they do what you want them to do, just leave them alone. You don't need to worry about any updates. If you find out that you have a plugin that's not working anymore, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, then that's when it's time to go out and look and see if there is some sort of an update for that plugin. What's next, baby?
Next question. Next question comes from Aditya Plays. Excuse me. Aditya Plays. What is the best recording and streaming software for a low-end laptop?
The best recording and streaming software for a low-end laptop. So OBS is the best streaming software out there, for sure. But for a low-end laptop, just don't try to do too much. Just use something like Melon or Streamlabs, or just use something like Melon or Restream or StreamYard. There are links in the description down below. They're browser-based. They just will capture your camera and allow you to live stream with guests. And, you know, if you don't have the equipment to handle OBS with all of the features and all the stuff, then just go live that way. And then eventually maybe save up to the point where you can get your, where you can get better equipment. That's kind of what I would recommend. Those are the ones that aren't going to use a lot of stuff. We've got Basket Block says Streamlabs is super laggy. I'm assuming you're talking about Streamlabs OBS, and Streamlabs OBS takes up a lot more CPU power than just regular OBS. It's basically OBS with a pretty little skin on it. That's all that Streamlabs OBS is. It does integrate a few of the web tools to it, but mostly it's just OBS with pretty web tools. So it takes up a lot more clock cycles. If most people eventually inevitably just go to OBS because it's the most efficient, most powerful system that you can use to live stream free. So unless you're going to pay someone else, then there you go. All right, babe, what do we got?
Next question from Mitch Heyman. Michael, have you tried OBS Ninja? And if you have, do you like it?
Man, a lot of OBS Ninja questions in here. What is OBS Ninja development and design team somewhere in the audience just want me to say OBS Ninja 987 times? I've used OBS Ninja. I've done a video on OBS Ninja. For people who don't know, OBS Ninja is just an application that allows you to capture the camera from your cell phone and use it in OBS or something like that. It works fine in a pinch. It's great for people who are just starting out, new to live streaming. It is not an end solution. It's not going to be decent quality. It's just something that will work when you're just starting out, so you don't have to buy expensive equipment or expensive cameras or anything like that. It's fine. It's fine, but it's certainly not an end solution to anything. It probably causes more problems than it solves. The only problem that it solves is enabling you to put a cell phone camera into your live stream. The audio is okay, but it causes problems. The video is okay, but it causes problems. Your best bet is not to use OBS Ninja. Your best bet is to go get a webcam. So there you go. What you got, babe?
There you go. Shaitan Gamers has another question. My chats and my subscriber alerts are not working. That's not much of a question, but that's what it is.
I'm sorry for your loss. What do we got?
Hold on.
Sometimes you just need moral support. I'm sorry that your chats and your other things aren't working. But that's why we test. That's why we test. If I knew something more specific, I might be able to help you. But yeah, go ahead, babe.
Okay, this one's from Tom Riley at TTV, something about nothing, saying, I saw your multi camera segment. What kind of cameras can you use or not use for that?
Okay, so the you can use any camera. You can even use an OBS Ninja camera, believe it or not. For the developers that are in the chat that keep asking OBS Ninja questions, you can use a webcam. You could use, I'm using a Cam Link. You can use a camera from a third party like what we're using with Monica. Any camera that you can get a hold of, you can use as a multi-camera development thing. So I could mount my cell phone up here, and I can use OBS Ninja as a second camera in my live stream. I can do all that stuff. There is no limitation as to what cameras you can use, as long as you can get their signal into the computer that you're using. There we go. What's up, babe?
Okay, this question says, thanks for the session. And I think they're asking what I am seeing during the session, the live stream or the Melon video. I believe I'm seeing just the live stream too. Nice. I'm seeing the live stream with a slight delay, but I am watching the live stream as it's happening.
Yes.
Okay, so next question. Hold on. Not prepared. Channel name is One Vision Aerial. Absolutely love your channel. Watched a ton of your videos to get me started playing around with OBS. I'm wanting to start doing live streams on my channel and working on building a room in the basement that's closed off. You definitely need somewhere special, somewhere private to do that. So to run two cameras, I can switch back and forth to if I'm doing a drone repair or build on the stream. I'm wanting to build a separate system for the live streaming. What do you suggest for processor speed, drive space in gigabytes, RAM amount, and video card with HDMI output? Then we have the network settings to transfer enough upward, downward speed. I'd need to fine tune that to get a smooth stream and no circles of death.
All right, so here's somebody who's asking all the right questions. Computer-wise, don't do a Mac. Love your Mac from afar when you're live streaming. Get yourself a PC. You want a Core i7. You probably want an i7, and you want it to have at least 4 active cores. It sounds like you're not going to be doing gaming. You don't need a freaking supercomputer if you're not going to do gaming. You can see all of the things that I'm able to do on basically a Core i7 and a 10-year-old graphics card. So you don't need to go apeshit to do multi-camera setup and that sort of stuff. But you want a desktop, not a laptop. You want a Core i7, and you want an NVIDIA graphics card. You just want something that you're going to be able to add into the thing. Let's go over into my tutorial screen, and you want, when you go into settings, you definitely want this to drop down and have an encoder. And you're going to get that with an NVIDIA graphics card. Anything that's newer than my card, which is almost 10 years old. So you don't have to buy a new card, but you want to have one that's going to have a dedicated encoder. And as far as RAM goes, I'm pretty sure I have about 16 gigs in this machine. And you certainly don't need any more than that. I could probably get away with 8. When we bring up my stats, that's the one thing that it doesn't like. If we go to view, docs, and stats, and there we go. It does, and now it's telling me I have disk space available. But, you know, memory usage, a lot of times it will use swap space. So the actual RAM on the machine, especially if you're not doing a gaming stream, isn't super hyper important. Your machine should have at least 8, and if you go up to 16, you'll be fine. So Core i7, some sort of NVIDIA graphics card. Make sure that you have sufficient disk space on your machine. In other words, when your machine starts to run out of hard drive space, oh, that creates all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. And then, so you want to make sure you have sufficient disk space. And then 8 gigs of RAM are up in the RAM department. And you are going to just love how this thing works. Now, if you're using multiple cameras and that sort of stuff, just make sure that you have at least 2 buses of USB on your machine so you don't run into camera problems. One of the reasons why Monica is being streamed from a camera that's on a separate machine and not added directly into the stream here is because camera busing problems with the headphones going in through USB and my mouse going in through USB and my keyboard going in through USB and that camera going in through USB. When you start to feed lots of stuff into USB and you only have a certain amount of bandwidth, then you can start to run into multiple camera problems. And you have to come up with creative ways to do the same thing. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's go over here and see what the next one brings us.
Next question is from Tech Talk with Tom. What is the best thing to do to get back to live streaming if the OBS is not responding?
The best thing to do to get back to live streaming if OBS is not responding. So what I would usually do, all right, let's go over to the tutorial screen. All right, so you're in a situation where your OBS is completely locked. It's not responding. I'm going to have to assume that you are using a PC. We're going to go into Task Manager here. And you can see I've got my OBS is running. You just right click and you go to End Task. That will kill it no matter what. If it's locked, no matter what, it's going to kill that task. Okay? So right click, Task Manager, find your OBS. You might have to click the name button up here so it organizes everything by name. Find OBS, right click, End Task. It will kill it. Then all you have to do, reopen it. It's yelling at me because I have multiple versions open. Boom. Alright, reopen it and then start streaming. And boom, you're back up. If you can do that fast enough, you'll catch the stream. As long as you haven't changed your profile or your scene collection, it should have the same stream key. It should pick right back up in it should pick right back up in here and put you right back where you want to be. So there you go. That is that's how you would do it if your OBS locks up during a live stream. And let's go to let's go here. I like the beach. All right, babe, what's the next question?
Next question comes from Mr. Spoker YT. How do you change your face into the cartoon?
Ah, yes. I don't know. I mean, it's just I've had this power since I was a small child. It just happens. And then, you know, sometimes if I think really hard about it, well, just get a little bit frazzled and I don't know what to do. And, you know, sometimes, well, it just is what it is. All right, I'll show you. That's why we're here. We're giving away all the secrets. Okay, so I use this right here. It's called Snap Camera. I've done a video on this. You can find it down in the... You can find it on my channel, actually. And what I do is I find some filters that I really like, and I save them to my thing with a hotkey, and it lets me change my face anytime that I want, like with this one. Or sometimes I can just chill out, you know, show the love. But it's very simple to do, and let me go and get you the link for this video. Let's see here. Well, this AR one right here shows you how to do it, but we'll go back to the very beginning. You know what? Let's get this one. I have other videos on this process, but this one will put you in the right direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and link that video in here. And there we go. You can check it out for yourself. That actually shows you how to add filters and all kinds of other stuff to it as well. Let's go back over to the Monica screen and see what we got going on. There we go.
This is actually very timely because a question that is next in the queue, which is actually question 43 of 77, it was from One Vision Ariel asking about the site for the avatar that you were using. It says that's awesome. So you actually answered that question already.
Sweet.
So we can move on. Yep. So if anybody does have a question, I see questions coming in again. Michael from Tech Examined is posting a link to ask questions. So if you could fill out that form in the link that he's posting and send it to us, we will get to your questions as they come in. It's hard to answer them out of the chat because we get all out of sync with everything. So please just ask on the form and we will get to it in order. Okay, hold on. I am behind on this one. And the next question, somebody asked, how do you become toony like you were? That is the same thing. Just watch that video that he posted. That will help you out there. Next question. Oh, same thing. How's he doing that with switching his face? That's pretty cool. How do you do that? Jumping through that one. Okay, how do you use Snapchat or Instagram filters on OBS?
All right. Well, I kind of just showed that, but what I'm going to do is I'll show a little more about it. So, you can see we're in here. Normally, for my camera, I would be using my cam link. But, in this case, I have my cam link going in to my snap camera right here. So when I have my cam link going into my snap camera, then when I add my device into OBS, I use the snap camera right here, and as you can see, then I get this awesome thing. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. There we go. You know what I'm saying. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's go. Let's see what the next question is.
Okay.
Pauline's in the house.
Pauline's in the house. Hey, Pauline. It's good to see you. Happy Saturday. And happy Saturday to everyone. I guess it's Saturday most places, I suppose. Okay. Are we ready for the next question?
I'm ready.
Okay. Rachel asks, when you use OBS and Restream together, what is the best workflow? Do I pay attention to my OBS and changing scenes there and only worry about chat in Restream, etc.? I find it so confusing to have everything up on both my screens.
Okay. This is actually a really good question. So I use a chat overlay. I'm using Twidget for the chat, which means that I can select chat, and I'm putting that chat overlay into my thing. So I don't have to play all those games. I see everything in my OBS. So I never have to open or use other chat stuff. Let me see if I can get my brain together here for a second. Go into Docs. And right here, the chat doc, this is the one. And I'm not going to be able to open it because but here, let me show you what it looks like. That's what my chat doc looks like. So I can select any of those chats and put them in the stream and everything else. There we go. So I have that docked right over in here. So I can read the chat, see the chat whenever I want to interact with the audience. I don't have to worry about it. I can also select pieces of this chat like that right there and put it right up on my screen. In this case, right over my face. So if you're interested in how I set up the chat dock and all that kind of stuff, let me grab you the video so that you could check it out for yourself. It's a fairly new video. Let's see. So what did you guys think about my latest entry? Did you learn a lot about adding multiple cameras to your live stream? Do you like the fact that I also added a lot of more information in there about nested scenes and simple background creation and that sort of stuff? I mean, I thought, well, yeah, you can just learn how to add multiple cameras, but why not learn how to add multiple cameras the right way with some different added stuff? So hopefully you guys really like that. Let me go over and go ahead, baby. What do we got now? Where are we at?
We are
running out of questions?
55 of 81.
Yeah.
Question: how to accept tips via OBS, not Streamlabs? What's the best way? Do I have to use Streamlabs?
No. Let's see. I do not use Streamlabs. You do not have to use Streamlabs. You can accept tips or donations in Stream Elements. Let's see. I don't know if I even have it open. I do. Look at that. I have Stream Elements open. I could go in. You can go into Stream Elements. This is where I use all my custom widgets and everything. The scene switchers and all the stuff that works on my stream. That's all done through Stream Elements. And you could go into revenue and you can set up so you can add tipping and all that stuff in here so that your tips can go right to your PayPal account and all that stuff. And I have videos on how to do that, so you could check those out as well. If you just check the playlist out, you'll find those things, or maybe one of my mods can find it and slap it into the chat for you. But yeah, that's not the only one that you can use. You can use Stream Elements as well. Let's go and there you go, honey. What's the next one?
Okay, another space nut is asking, is there any better way to grab international webcams than OBS Ninja or platforms like Zoom?
I don't know. This is one of those questions that I can't answer simply because I've never tried to grab international webcams. So I never looked around for any options or information on how to do it. So I wish I had more for you, but unfortunately, I do not. I'm definitely not a international webcam specialist in this case. All right, babe, what do we got?
Okay, the next question comes from Dad Wars, saying, is there a way to keep every media file from playing when I start up OBS? And then he thanked me by calling me Pumpkin.
All right. Yeah, so I know that you guys noticed if you watched my last live stream that every time I would switch back and forth from the Monica cam to my main scene, it would just keep playing these audio files over and over and over again. And I used a nested scene. So let me show you an example that's non-audio. You can see that I have my camera set up right here. If I go in here, my camera is set up right here. Let's see. Right there. I don't know why it's not actually coming up, but oh, that's because I have it turned off there. There we go. All right. So now I've got my camera coming up here. So if I switch from scene 2 to that scene, it's going to come up every single time. And if this was an audio file, it would play the audio every single time, which sucks. Or a video file. In this case, I think I have a video file here. So it's hard to tell, but every time I switch back and forth, this video file starts playing over and over again at the very beginning. You can see if we do this, if I go to scene 2, and I come back, you could see it starts playing it again from the very beginning. So the easiest way that I've found to have a continuous stream from a video file like what I believe you might be asking for, Dad Wars. So let's say we add that file into here. Okay, so now we've got this here, and you can see where the file is in its playing, and then we've got this here, and you can see it automatically will because it's switching between two scenes, it will continue to carry it. It doesn't start it over. But if I go into scene 2 and I disable it, then I go here, you can see it starts playing, I go back, it starts playing again. So the easiest way to have the video continue is to include it in the two different scenes. Otherwise, it's going to start over every single time that you do it. And I don't think that there's any way. So it says restart playback when source becomes active. And if we uncheck that, let's see if we can get it to do what you're trying to do. So if I go to scene 2 and then I come back, and that was good, that worked. So if I go to scene 2 and I come back, there we go. Let's remove this altogether. That looks like it actually works. It does what we want it to do. So let's get this all started at the. So there it goes. It's at the very beginning. We go to scene 2. We come back, and it saves it at the same spot. So that's kind of the way that you're gonna want to do it if you want to save it. If you don't want it just playing from the beginning every time you go in there, you just go to restart playback when source becomes active, and you just uncheck it. If you don't want it playing when you go there, all you have to do is turn it off. If you turn it off, it won't happen. So if I go back and I do this, it's not going to come on unless I turn that scene on. So hopefully that answers your question. I hope so. Hopefully I didn't dance around it and miss it. What you got, babe?
Question from Fred Fury's Frequency asking, how do I use Socket for streaming to YouTube?
I don't know what Socket is. I don't know what NewTube is. So I'm unfortunately unable to help you on this one.
Okay. Next question from Agus. How do you chroma key a certain area of a video source? For example, I have a blue colored video and there's a black square and a small area in that video for the chat box. I want to mask the chat box in that black square. Does that make sense?
It does. But he's trying to do this in OBS, I'm wondering. Okay, so all right, well, I kind of actually just put together a video that shows a little bit how to do this. But if I go in here, I can right click and go to filters, and I can add a image mask. Okay. In this case, let me see. I have the files on here, so I may as well just poke around with them. If I can remember where I put them. Let's do this one. So you can see this adds a mask. We can do it in a bunch of different ways though. We can use the blend. So the point is that you could reverse this. You can reverse this mask to mask out some piece of it in your thing and change it to green. It is possible to do. You're going to use the alpha mask matte thing. Kind of like what you see there. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you at least some idea. I'm actually going to have a video coming out on how to use these things.
I'm sorry, they're saying to change the scene. They didn't see anything when you were showing that.
Oh, yeah, because I'm still on you, honey. Look at that. I messed that all up. All right. Okay, so I have a video coming out on this really soon, but here is what we would do. Go into filters. You can place these filters literally anywhere. So if you know your screen is 1080 and you know you've got a black spot like right here that you just want to mask out or whatever, you're obviously going to set up your masks in that way to do that. And then put something over top of it. I mean, really, to be honest with you, it's just easier to put something over top of the screen as an overlay than it is to mask it out. But we can do masks, and I'll show you. I've got some masks set up, and you can change the way that the mask is used by the color channel, the alpha channel. You could do multiply or addition or subtraction, which is what you would do if you're trying to remove it. And you can change the color that you're using, so you can kind of add green screen there. You could see how that could work, right? And then once you do that, boom, you've got, I've got a video coming up in a couple of weeks that shows you all kinds of really cool stuff to do with these layer masks. But this doesn't take up any CPU processing. You can put it wherever you want on your screen, and you can do all kinds of really, really cool things if you decide to be creative with these filter masks. Hopefully, this actually answers your question as to how you can do it. You just go in, you create a filter mask. Now, if you're wondering what these filter masks actually physically look like, let me show you, because it's silly how simple they are. Let me see here. All right, so you can't even see it. And the reason why is because the background is white because it's opaque, and then the actual image of the piece is white as well. So basically it's just a white shape on a transparent background, and so you can't see it. But that's how easy they are to create. You just create, so if I wanted to mask this out, I would go into my image application software. I'd probably take a still shot of this, right? I'd go into my mask editing, or I'd go into my editing software, I'd put this image in there, and then I would just create a white mask over this exact area that I want to mask out, and then I would export that with alpha everywhere except for on the mask area that I wanted to use, and boom. Then you're going to get exactly what I just showed you, except for it's not going to be a shape. It'll be just the mask area. And there's so much cool stuff that you could do with that. But that's how I would do it. If you're creative, you could do amazing things. Let's go ahead and see what Monica's got to say. Where are we at, babe?
We are at question 61 of 87. Next
Awesome.
is, how can you fix the pixel? This is the question. How can you fix the pixels of quality when you're streaming in Streamlabs OBS?
How can you fix the pixels of quality?
Yes.
When you're streaming in Streamlabs OBS?
Correct.
I don't know what the pixels of quality is. That sounds like a really epic power that you would gain in a game about streaming, possibly. I'm just in search of the pixels of quality. And when I get, hold on, let me, I can do this better.
You gotta have a face for this.
Oh, I do. Hold on.
The pixels of quality.
So let's try this one. If only I had the pixels of quality, I could do what I'm trying to do in the right way. So I'm guessing you're just looking for a quality image, and the best thing that you could do to get a quality image is to test. Or you could be gifted the pixels of quality by someone, maybe a pixel wizard. You never know. Okay, what do we got, babe?
Okay, next question. How to enhance the video quality while using screen sharing as an input to virtual camera on Zoom? The letter clarity is so bad.
Yes, and I have a video coming out on this very, very soon that shows you how to do it, so stay tuned. I apologize I can't answer that question right now, but I know that Zoom resizes stuff. I will say this, if you're not paying to use Zoom, you're not going to be able to fix it. But if you are a paid member of Zoom, I have a video coming up really soon that shows you how to fix that. So stay tuned. What do we got, babe?
We have a question from Sven Dreistein from Berlin, Germany. Welcome. Saying,
Welcome.
how can I use OBS to insert a screen from an Android cell phone into OBS for a live demonstration?
What? Was this an OBS Ninja question again?
And it doesn't say Ninja. It just says, how can I use OBS to insert a screen from an Android cell phone into OBS for a live demonstration?
I think we have the entirety of the OBS Ninja design squad in here just asking us questions that would be the legitimate answer of OBS Ninja. So if you want to add a cell phone into OBS, use OBS Ninja if you want. We get it. I get it. You want me to say OBS Ninja a lot of times. But it's not a great solution. OBS Ninja's fine. You can use it to add cell phones into your streams. It's fine. But it's not the end-all solution. You get a webcam. Get a webcam and add it to your stream. You're going to love it. You're going to thank me. Because you're not going to be spending hours trying to figure out how to get any of that stuff to look okay. Not good. Okay. Basically, almost, sort of okay. I mean, who really wants to be monkeying around with this stuff? You know? What you got, babe?
How do I get new followers to pop up in OBS without using, now it says Streamlab, but I'm guessing it's Streamlab, unless there is a thing called Streamlab.
I missed the question. I don't know if you saw what I was doing there.
Because you're monkeying around?
I might have been.
Yeah. Okay. Question. How to get new followers to pop up in OBS without using Streamlabs or Streamlab?
How to get, you could use Stream Elements. If you want alerts that aren't Streamlabs, Stream Elements is the other game in town. So you could do that.
Does that mean you're ready for the next question?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. This one's from Two Family Homestead, saying we do a lot of call-in type live streams. Currently using Zoom for the telephone as multiple people can participate. Guests on the stream normally connect via Skype NDI connection. Looking for a better low-cost multiple live call-in solution for questions. Any suggestions?
Possibly Riverside might be a good suggestion. Honestly, a lot of people who do call-in stuff use Discord. You can bring in a big group of people on Discord, and it's really easy to route their audio in. You can be very selective about who is heard, so it's kind of used like a call board that you would hear on the radio or something like that. So I think potentially setting up a Discord server that's just for your live streams, that if someone has a question or someone specific that you want to add, you can add them to the Discord. You can boot them from the Discord, and you can organize their questions. They can even record it, and you can play the recordings. So things like that. So I think maybe Discord is the solution you're looking for, and guess what? Discord is free. So it's at least free for a lot of the basic services and that sort of stuff. So maybe try Discord or something like that. I think when you're using Zoom to add guests, or you're using any of the other video conferencing software, you're already adding in a lot of extra stress and complication that you don't need to have. You could do it a lot easier and better with just using something like Melon or StreamYard or Restream, which if you want to check those out, the links are in the description. It's simple. They organize all the guests and everything for you, so you don't have to do it. They'll name all the guests for you, so you don't have to do it. When the screen reorganizes, it's not going to just magically become a blank screen or something in OBS, because that's what the area that you have captured. It doesn't do that. It doesn't reorganize stuff for you. You just capture the display screen and you're done. You're good to go. So I just think it makes it easier. What you got, babe?
Okay, there is a question in the chat. How many questions will be answered in this session? Or is this the last one? We currently are on question 68 of 92. So that's up to you, Michael, what you want to do about taking up to questions or only up to 100 like last week. That's up to you.
Yeah, I think we'll go to 100 questions. Where are we at? Oh, we're at 12:30 already almost.
Yep, and we have 92 questions in the queue.
All right, and we're what?
We have 92 questions in the queue.
Where are we at though?
I'm sorry, we are at 68.
Yeah, so we're not even halfway there. So yeah, I think we're pretty close to closing out the questions at this point. Let's try to whip through these.
Okay. Next question. This is Chris from Borneo, Sabah, Malaysia. Welcome.
Ooh.
Can I use
Bonjour.
OBS to do video editing, such as choir members' video, and compile them as one video, like to make a virtual choir?
Negative. You will use editing software. OBS can record that stuff very easily, but you're going to use an editing software like DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere. If you're interested in how to use DaVinci Resolve, I do have a couple of videos that show you how to do some editing on it, but I would just do a search on YouTube for DaVinci Resolve. It's totally free editing software. Go through some basic tutorials, learn how to use it, and take the stuff that you record in OBS and make it look epic in recording software. And that's the way to do it. What's up, babe? Let's go.
Okay,
let's roll.
Next question is from Deshaun Sumanathalaka. Apologize if I messed that up. How do you add a transition animation between scenes?
Oh man, this is a good one. This is the kind of questions I like to have, to be honest. I could answer questions like this all day. Sorry, I'm just messing around. This Monica cam thing is just too big over you. It's like covering your whole face. We want to see the beauty that is Monica. So there we go. How's that? Is that better, everyone? Okay, there was a question in there, right? How do we add transitions that are...
How do you add transition animation between scenes? Yes.
Aha. All right, let's go over here to our tutorial screen. And let's do this one. Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So if I wanted to add a transition from this one to this one, we go over here. We're going to drop it down and go to Stinger. Let's add a stinger because I think you're asking how to do it. You're asking how? All right, so we're going to add stinger 2. We've got to go to a video file, and this is a file that you've created that is going to actually be a stinger. And I think one of the big problems we might have here is that I don't have any just sitting around, or I don't know where they are. So let's go into our downloads and see if I have one sitting here. Because you have to create these. I do have videos where I show you how to create stingers on the thing. Let's see. Yep, it looks like I don't know where my stingers are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit the other stinger. We're going to go into properties. And so you're going to, this one happens to be, this particular stinger happens to be a transition type stinger or track mat stinger. So here's how that's going to work. I just load it in right here in browser, and then I select the track mat enabled. And if we preview it, there we go. So if I go and click OK, now we'll see that I appear. And that's how you set up a stinger transition. It's just a video file that goes in between. I have some videos that show you how to do it. Uh-oh. Thank you very much, Al. I really do appreciate it. He's giving me a little bit of a break so I can get down. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Al. It's folks like you that help to keep this whole thing going. Someone mentioned earlier, because I accidentally, or not accidentally, I was on a screen it showed how much I was making from ad revenue. Believe me, you can't live off of that. So it's folks that donate or join my membership program down there that really help to enable me to do this and occasionally take Monica out to dinner and get a pizza. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Oh. Woo! I love that one. That one's so much fun. Oh, we got another. We're getting a lot of subscribers today. Armando. We're gonna go over here, and I think I answered that question, didn't I?
I think so.
If I didn't finish answering that question, let me know in the comments, because I don't remember.
Yes.
I'm not 22 anymore. I'm 23.
23.
And my memory just not working right now.
Right. I actually did see something in the chat here from Two Family Homestead. You answered their question just recently, but she says their call-in is not video, it's just audio via telephone. So Discord would not be a viable
Discord
solution.
is perfect.
Oh, they said no. They said Discord would not be a viable solution.
Sure. Yeah, you could do just calls in Discord. You could do video calls or audio calls, any kind of calls. I mean, you know. Yeah, let me show you my Discord. I don't have it open. But Discord can do video or audio, so you could take calls in Discord. You just load the person up. You can actually... I'm about to hit 55,000 subs. Are you serious? That doesn't seem possible. That must be all of those... all of the OBS Ninja folks just subscribing to the channel all at once. I don't understand. He's not kidding, though. Wow. That's kind of crazy. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. Well, I mean, so you can go out there and pay specifically for dial-in software that you can load up on your PC, but something like Discord, you can make work. And you can use it for audio or just video or both. Uh-oh. Here we go. It's about to happen, honey. We're gonna. Oh no. Jim says greets from Milwaukee kids. Great to see you guys. Thank you, Jim. I really do appreciate it. It's guys like Jim that help keep the stream alive. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, Michael's right. We've hit some crazy spike right here, right now, recently in my lives, in my channel. It's unprecedented. It's unbelievable. So, it's all going kind of crazy. I think we might be going again in a second. Screws. Oh, yep, here we go. Thank you. And his question, I want to build a PC for only 4K recording. Can you please suggest to me components? So if you're going to try to do 4K recording on your PC, you're going to want a graphics card that is NVIDIA. It is going to be a PC. It's not going to be a Macintosh. At least if you're using OBS to do the recording. You're going to want a Core i7 or preferably an i9 and a relatively recent graphics card made by NVIDIA, and then you are going to want probably 16 gigs of RAM. If you have those three things, you should be okay. And thank you so much for the donation. I really do appreciate it. All right. Did I forget I was doing something over here in the tutorial screen.
Answering the Discord question?
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah, I mean, Discord is a viable solution. I think that's what guys like Nick Nimmin and those guys do when they're bringing guests on their stream with just audio, because you have all the control. You can even have someone in the Discord that's handling all the bits and pieces to organize it. Kind of like Monica could be managing this stream, and you'd never know it. That's not actually what's happening, but it could be. Let's go to see what's going on.
Yeah, that is
What do we got,
definitely
babe?
not happening. That is not happening. Okay. Question: how to do double camera on one camera in Zoom?
In order to have two cameras, you need two cameras. I don't know any other way to put that. You can't double your camera. You need two cameras. I don't. Yeah. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the question, but I'm guessing he wants to do multiple cameras with one camera, and you can't do that. So
Okay.
there you go, hon.
Okay.
What's
Next
up?
question is from James
Next
Eichbaum.
question.
I want to use OBS with Teams for classroom delivery, but the virtual camera output from OBS to Teams delivers a degraded, blurry video. I can't make out the screen text. Is there a fix to make it come out clearer?
Did he say OBS to Teams?
He wants to use OBS with Teams for classroom delivery. The virtual camera output from OBS to Teams delivers a degraded video, which is blurry, and can't make out the screen text. Is there a way to fix it to make it come out clearer?
Well, you want to definitely make sure that you're delivering it in the same quality as you are getting it in Teams. In other words, if you're streaming to Teams in 1920 by 1080, then all of your OBS assets should be, and your OBS canvas should be 1920 by 1080. Secondly, and I know that almost everybody who comes on here has seen my videos on how to go from Teams to, or how to go from OBS to Teams. I know they've seen these videos because almost nobody else, oh my. Here we go. Thank you very much, Swearits. I really do appreciate it. We've also got one coming in from Argus. 100K subs by the end of 2021. Let's make it happen. I would love to make it happen. Which GPU do I use? I am using a NVIDIA. It is a, I believe a 960. It's like 10 years old. It's very old. No. Yep, using NVIDIA. Mine's like 10 years old. It's like a 970 or something like that. It's not new. So you don't need anything that's amazing and super and spectacular. It just has to have a graphics card unless you're doing games. So. Alright, what was the question I was just answering?
Yeah, the question, OBS to Teams for classroom, it's blurry.
Right. Yeah, first of all, use NDI. If you don't know how to use NDI, go down into my videos and click video and then scroll through until you find the OBS to Teams that will tell you how to do it in NDI. And the reason why I use NDI is because it syncs your audio and video. You get a much higher quality thing, and then you just want to make sure that the output in OBS is the same as the input in Teams. Oh boy, here we go again. Is a 3060 okay? I only want to do 4K recording. A 3060 is way more than what you would need. It's more than okay. It's absolutely perfectly fine. And by the way, thank you so much for the donation. I really, really do appreciate it. Oh man. Yes, and Nano Man sums it up as well. He knows his video equipment. A 3060 is a. I mean, the thing is that maybe you get a 3060 because you want to future-proof your live stream. That's perfectly fine as well. I'm being told to dance. Sorry, Mike. I wasn't dancing. See, my headphones add this kind of halo to my head that looks stupid.
Oh my goodness, we got a member. Yes, join us, Screw-Its. I think it's Screw-Its. Thank you for becoming a member. You can join us as well. Click the join member down the join button right down below and support the channel on a monthly basis. Become a member and you can get your questions answered just like Screwits just did and stuff. Thank you very much. Please become a member. Click that join button down below. It really does help support the channel. And yeah, all that. Thank you.
Did I finish answering that question, honey?
I don't think so. I don't think you did.
You don't think I did? What was the question?
The degraded, blurry video for classroom. He wants to make out the screen
yes.
text.
Yeah, I think I pretty much... Thank you, Christopher. I do appreciate it. You really are awesome. You guys that are supporting the channel. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. Ah, yes. All right, let's go to the Monica cam and get the next question. What do we got?
We are at 72 of 97. And the question is, can you recommend a good way to get a webcam from the US, even if it's a paid solution?
A good way to get a webcam from the US, even if it's... I'm not sure what you mean. Just go on Amazon and get a webcam. You could get all kinds of webcams. I'm not even sure that anyone in America actually makes a good webcam. They probably all come from China. so yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the question is. Go ahead, honey. Let's get to the next one.
Okay, next one is from Peebs Bread saying, are there any differences with different capture cards with regard to color, i.e. color correction?
Dude, that's an awesome question. Now, you know I use the Elgato Cam Link, and I like it because it works. That doesn't mean that there's not some inexpensive cam cards out there on Amazon that you could check out. I haven't currently done a video testing those cards, but I think it's going to be fun to go ahead and and buy some of these cards and test out to see what the differences are. So I guess my answer to your question is I don't really know because I haven't had a chance to really test them out. Go ahead, babe. Next question.
Okay. Next question is from Mike John. Is there a voice accent plugin for OBS? For example, if a person is British, is UK, can they talk with a US accent?
Wow. I'll bet you there's something out there for it. There's certainly filters that I can use that can modify my voice, but I don't know that there's anything that can modify an accent just yet. But believe me when I tell you, as far as the way that AI is starting to work with voices, voiceovers, and things like that, trust me, if it's not out there yet, it's coming. It's coming for sure. What you got, babe?
Okay, question. How do you make the animations appear and make it look like it appears upon command? For example, pointing to a specific place on screen and a picture or a GIF appear.
Oh, yeah, that's the trickery of live streaming. So if I'm over here and I wanted to make something appear over there or whatever, I would just use something like this. And, you know, I would just push the button to make that action happen when I was pointing. You can also do it by going into settings and hotkeys, and I can set it up. So if I had another scene back here that I wanted to activate when I pointed or whatever, you know, I can easily just point and turn that on. Maybe something, there we go.
Turn
it on the background, turn it off background.
There you go. Are you showing something because they're saying they can't see?
They can't see. My whole audience going blind?
They're saying we can't see the settings.
Oh, they can't see the settings?
Yeah.
Like that?
And Michael says they can see it fine, so I don't know.
Yeah, what are they looking for? Now, if all you would have to do is point. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm saying I'm gonna do, you know, and then I can use hotkeys. Maybe they were talking about the hotkey thing. I went into settings and I went to hotkeys, and there's nothing to show because I don't have any set up in this sequence. But I can set up hotkeys, and then I can point, and I can, you know, basically have it turn on sources or whatever that are going to create animations that I already recorded earlier. And that's the magic of how you can make it look like that stuff is interactive. Just like when somebody gives a donation and leaves a tip or something on my live stream, I can have it switch scenes, switch my face, do all that kind of stuff. A lot of it looks like magic, but there is actually some button pressing involved right now. I'm doing the best I can to try to completely eliminate button pushing and just have it set up so that it does it automatically. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay, next question. This question is from Noel, but the question is about using filters like you're using on your stream. And I don't know if that's in regard to the face or if it's different filters. This is how you can use filters like you're using on your stream.
Yep, I have a video on how to do it. Let me go ahead and get that video, and I will link it into the, I'm going to link it to you so that you can go check it out for yourself. Let's see. There's a couple of different videos. We're gonna link this one here. This one shows the faces and that sort of stuff. Maybe. There we go. And then if you want to use some of the filters and stuff that I use for other scenes, like my member scene. Let me show you what I'm talking about there. If you wanted to use,
Do you need to switch screens again, honey?
yeah, probably. Well, I'm not showing anything, so
Okay.
not really. But
Okay.
this one right here, if you want to do something like this.
If you want to do this, I'm going to drop the video in that's going to show you how to do that as well.
Let me see here. I think this video is the one that has lots of different stuff like that. So there's two different videos that I just dropped in there that basically show you how to do all that stuff. So, awesome. And looks like Argus is getting tired. It's awesome that you came and hang out. It's getting late for you, huh? All right, let's it's getting late for me too. Sort of. All right, what do you got, babe?
Okay, next question. I have my audio sources set up correctly in OBS. I can see the signal for all sources. While streaming, however, people can only hear my microphone. What is the master output of OBS? And here do I have to set that as the output for my browser and Windows 10?
All right. Let's go here. So anything that is going to be sent out to the live stream should be showing up right here in the audio mixer. So if I add a media source, you can see that media source doesn't have any audio. If I add the display capture, where is it? Where is it? It's here. If I add the display capture, there it is. So if I have audio output capture, that would be the desktop audio. All that stuff shows up right here. You can right click on here and go to advanced properties, and you can set it up. So if monitor off is on, or if it says monitor off, that means that I can't hear any of this stuff actually going on, my media source or my video capture device. I can't hear it, but it is going to the stream. If I have monitor only, mute output, that means I can hear it, but it's not going to the stream. That's how Monica is able to talk to me in my head on certain scenes, but you guys can't hear it. And then there's monitor and output. And that is how Monica and I can talk to each other and you can still hear it. That means I'm listening to her and it's also going out to the stream. So those are the 3 different ways, and so if you're having problems where something's not producing audio that's getting heard by the audience, that's how you're going to fix that. I don't know what this is. Well, that's how you're going to fix it. And then you're going to just make sure it's in here. Make sure that it's producing audio that's bouncing up and down so you know you're hearing it. And then make sure that it's going to the output. All right, let's go to you, babe, and see what we got going on.
Okay. Question, do you know how to send video and audio from OBS on one computer and receive it on another computer's OBS in local network?
Yeah, actually, I do. Let me go here. All right, so if you wanted to transfer stuff, if, like, let's say Monica wanted to run an OBS scene on her computer and send it up here, we can easily do that. What she's going to do is she's going to go into Tools, and she's going to go to our NDI output, and she's going to turn it on and have it named. And then what I'm able to do is go into a source and click the plus, and I can go to NDI source and grab that source that she's sending me across the network and put it in here. So I could grab it, NDI source, and I can drop the source name down. I can name whatever I want, and I can basically pick up that signal and bring it in here as another source or another scene. So it could be audio, it could be video. That's how you would do it. In order to do that, you have to obviously download the NDI plugin for OBS and the NDI stuff. It's all free, so you can definitely do it. But that's how you would do it. You could have multiple computers on the same network, basically processing stuff and sending it to one computer that just takes all that NDI source stuff in-house and puts it all together and sends it out. You could do that. That's what somebody like Sushi Dragon, that's what he's doing. He's taking 10 different computers, doing all the processing, and just sending the final signal to his machine, which goes out. So there you go. Let's get the riverboat going.
Riverboat. Okay. This is a question from Sidrix, and it's a gaming question, and there's kind of a lot to it, so I'll read it, and if you need me to read it again, I can. I have RTX 2070 Super in 3900X, and I want the max quality for recording a fast motion game called Valorant. Should I select max quality or quality preset? NVENC, by the way. And what about psycho visual tuning? They say it helps with fast motion, but people say always keep it off. And will streaming on Twitch be the same for these settings?
All right, so basically all I can say is that you've got to test. You got to test to see what works best for you. I can tell you what might work, but it's not going to help you until you test it and you see what actually works on your machine. It sounds like your machine can handle all the business. So you shouldn't really have any problems, and setting it to max quality should work and all that stuff. Just, it takes 30 seconds to test what you're getting in Valorant as a recording in one setting, and then change the setting and test it in Valorant again in another setting. It takes 30 seconds to test it and see what looks best for you. Because, you know, here's the other thing. What looks good for you might not look good for me or your audience. So just test it and see what you get.
Okay, next question. Have you been paying attention to the new AI software NVIDIA has been releasing? I think it looks really cool for filters and stuff like that. I want to hop into using those, but they seem difficult right now.
Interesting. No, I haven't been paying any attention. I do have the NVIDIA software on here. Occasionally you do see the thing pop up. I'll have to check it out and see what kind of AI stuff they're doing. I don't know if it's, you know, face changing and voice changing. And I know they have something that will remove backgrounds and stuff that people keep mentioning to me, so I might have to try that. But yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, babe. What's next?
Okay, this says, I've got a DSLR, a Canon 16 Rebel. I've been using the Canon drivers, but the quality of the output isn't that good. I've then tried to use a capture card, but clean HDMI doesn't work on that model. My question is there a way to get it to work? I've heard of Magic Lantern framework for the Canon camera, but unfortunately, it doesn't support 16 models either. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
T6 models either.
I don't have a camera, so I don't have any way to test this or know. If I were you, I would kind of go on Twitter or something like that and ask other people who use Canons how they get them to work with cap cards and that sort of stuff. Because unfortunately, I can't give you information on stuff that I don't actually have. I have a Sony A65 I have a Sony A6400. And so that's what I have experience using. What you got, babe?
Okay, where do you recommend to make a stream layout?
I use Pixlr. What you got, babe?
Next. Wait. This question, is Monica your wife? Yes, yes. Michael and I are married.
Yes, about 2 weeks ago. It's been awesome.
When we were 21. What is better to live stream on, Restream or OBS?
OBS.
How can I create multiple setups in OBS, like one for live streaming and one for recording YouTube videos?
All right. I like this one. This is a good one. All right. So how do you create multiple? Well, you're going to have a scene collection that's going to have all the physical assets, all this stuff in here. So you could just create a new one. We'll call this one live. Boom. So I could put all my assets in here that I want. And then over here in profile, you could create a new one of these and we'll call it live. And the live is going to save. You can just cancel that. But you can see we got a new profile. It's called live. And that is all of these settings. So you could set up a different profile to record and a different profile under, you could set up one to record, one for live streaming, and then you could go and you can have multiple scene collections with the scenes that you use for your recording or the scenes that you use for your live streaming. So that's how you're going to save different profiles and different scene collections. Super, super, mega simple. Oh man, my stuff just went crazy. You're up, babe. What's up?
Okay. Is it possible to make a photo of a person in OBS so that it would be on the background with a transparent matte effect?
Is it possible to make a photograph? Go repeat the question.
To
I
make
think
a
I know this
photo?
person.
To make a photo of a person in OBS so that it would be on the background with a transparent matte effect.
Well, honestly, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can get a photograph of a person with the background removed. I mean, that's the same as using an overlay. So if I go to my main overlay scene right here, all this is just basically an image with transparent background. So yeah, you could just create a photograph in PNG format and put it in the background and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely. Let's go over and see. Let's get the next question. Where are we at here, honey?
We are at 90 of 100.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice.
yes.
Pretty soon we're gonna be able to party.
Woo!
Yep, it's almost party time. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, this has a lot of detail in it also, so I'll read it and then I may need to reread it again. It's from Ajish from India. Our church live streams through OBS YouTube. The sound gets mute after some time during the live service. The OBS soundbar also stops moving. Can you help me to solve this? I am using audio from the Yamaha mixer and use M Audio, M-Track Duo for USB interface to Windows 10.
I'm not going to be able to help you resolve this on a live stream because one, I don't have access to any of that equipment, and two, I don't know what your setup is like. I mean, I understand you told me what equipment that you're using. My suggestion to you would be to test. Remove some of the equipment and just go straight into the PC without it and see if it causes the problem or if you're having the same problem. And if you're not, then chances are it's, say, the Yamaha or it's something else. But you got to test. You have to go through the troubleshooting steps in order to find a solution that is causing you to have the problem. Because unfortunately, over the internet, I can't, certainly not on a live stream over the internet, I can't walk you through the troubleshooting process to figure out exactly what's causing OBS to lock up or the audio to go bonkers. So I wish I could do more, but unfortunately I just can't. That's where we're at. What you got, babe?
Okay, we have Troy from Point 7 Out. Apparently there's an OBS plugin for Twitch. Why is there none for YouTube? Having to keep a browser visible to monitor the stream is annoying.
Ah, yes. I see this. I actually saw people using the Twitch one. Why is there none for YouTube? Well, I just use Twidget, and it gives you all the same stuff, and it even allows me to be able to grab chat stuff and put it on the screen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and do this. So I could basically, it's time to end it. Michael, it's okay, man. You're gonna be all right. I can put that. I can select it and put it on the screen. It's very simple to do. Let me get you the link so that you could see. And this works, by the way, for YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So yes, there are some tools that YouTube has not gotten just yet, but don't worry. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. Maybe. YouTube, YouTube will get it done eventually. There's the link to that one. Let's go in and see what Monica's got going on. Let's hear it, baby.
Okay, this one is from Zagon. It just says how to IRL stream.
I don't know. What's an
I
IRL stream?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you don't know,
If he's talking about an in real life stream, I did that for years. You just go live on your cell phone. It's super, super simple. All right, next.
Next, why does my OBS video freeze? Hey, I just read them as they come in.
Oh my gosh. Really? I don't understand. Why does... Are you using a Mac? I'll bet you they're using a Mac. I would be willing to guarantee that they're using a Mac. You're probably using a Mac. If you're not using a Mac, further follow up that question in the comments. If you're using a Mac, get a PC. All right, let's go.
All right, next. Is it possible to get video feed from WhatsApp or Google Meet into OBS?
Yes, you could just do a display capture or screen capture, kind of like what I've shown here a couple of different times. Right here, I have a display capture of Monica. It's probably not showing up. Let's see, where is it? Let's remove it, because obviously it's off the screen from something else I was doing. And display capture. So if you have WhatsApp or whatever on a different part of the screen, you just put it on that screen, and then you crop out the areas that you don't want to be seen. So if this was WhatsApp, I'm just cropping out the stuff I don't want to be seen, And now, guess what? We have it in there. So that's how you do it. Super simple. Let's go and get to the next question. We got to be getting pretty close.
We are getting, yes, we're getting down to the end. DJ Bobby G says, Bobby G channel says, what is better, Restream or OBS? And I know you've answered this before, so.
OBS.
Okay, next. Michael, please tell about the software used for the audio and video effects being used by you. That's from Javed in India.
Awesome. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I just put the link in the thing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some more. If you want to know about the audio, let's see. Is it that old, really? This video right here, will tell you how to use the voice changer stuff. And let's see. This video right here will show you how to use the filter stuff. And this video right here will show you how to do the augmented reality face changer stuff. Like say, let's say we want to do this one. Yeah, that's how you do that. What you got, babe? What's next?
This is from Mr. Monkey Meat is saying, I currently downscale to 720 for streaming. Is there a greater penalty in OBS for downscaling from 1440 than 1080?
As far as penalty goes, let's go over here. I'm not sure what you mean by penalty, to be honest with you. But streaming in 720 is fine. You just want to make sure two things when you go to your video. Make sure that your output is the same, 1920 by 1080. If your canvas is 1920 by 1080, your output should be 1920 by 1080. So right here, this should be 720. I should not have it set that way. I'm not going to change this because it's going to mess everything up. But yeah, make sure that your canvas resolution and your output resolution are the same. Otherwise, you will derive a penalty from the machine actually re-encoding it to put it in a different size. So that's where the real effort comes into your computers, when they're recomputing to do different sizes and all that kind of stuff. So let's go back to Monica and see what we got.
Okay, what is the best? This is Bobby G channel. What is the best way to upload on YouTube? On your iPad camera roll, on the iPad camera roll, on the iPad, or on the YouTube app? Should I read that again? What is the best way to upload on YouTube? On your iPad camera roll, on the iPad, or on the YouTube app? I don't know if you could pull any of that together. There's no...
Right.
Yeah.
The easiest way, or the best way to do it, is through the YouTube app, because then you can go through and you can give your description and you can give all the information. Makes it a lot easier to do on the YouTube app. I'm sure that you can upload with the camera roll from your iPhone, and that's great, but you're not allowed. You can't set the thumbnail and do all that stuff. It's just like a random upload. If you're gonna be a YouTuber, then you have to use the YouTube apps. You have to go through, you have to set up your SEO, you have to set up your description, you have to create a custom thumbnail. You have to do all those things. They're all required for you to eventually find success on YouTube. So you're gonna have to go ahead and break down and use not the simple created, I uploaded the video in 2 seconds, but you're gonna have to use the tools that create a situation where you could be successful, and the only way to do that is through the YouTube app. So let's go here. What else we got, babe? We got to be getting close.
This is our final question, and it sounds like it's the most important. It's from somebody named Michael Panetta. And the
Oh.
question is, why does my arm hurt when I hit it?
Oh. Well, I'm wearing the perfect. I'm wearing the perfect face for this. Don't worry, guys. It's going to switch over 2 more times. Your arm hurts when you hit it because you hit it. You didn't hit it hard enough. If you hit it hard enough, your arm will come off, and then it won't hurt anymore.
Or it'll just go numb.
Well, that's true too. Yes, if your arm hurts when you hit it, that just means you didn't hit it hard enough. You maybe need to hit it a lot harder, and then when it falls off, it's not going to hurt anymore. So don't try this at home, kids. I'm wearing the right face for that one. All right, so I think that's it, right?
That's it. There is Aditya Plays did send in a question: the best recording or streaming software for a low-end laptop, but we did answer that earlier in the stream. So
we did, and if you're just going to record or something, maybe something like Riverside might work pretty well. That one is creepy how well it looked. Yeah, some of these are pretty creepy. Some of these are pretty creepy. All right, so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the Monica question cam. We're going to just say hellos and goodbyes, and let me get my face back.
Okay.
Yes, I want. I want to make sure that you have your chance to tell the audience thanks and all that good stuff.
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you. The questions were great. We had pretty much as many as we did last week, which is wonderful. I hope Michael was able to answer all the questions. I'm sure there'll be another live stream in the future. That is up to Michael. He'll put it out there when we're going to do this again. But please, if you have questions, come back and we will make sure they're answered for you. Have a great day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever for everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Let me go over here. And all right, so for anyone who's watching this live stream or might be watching this live stream who thinks they want to ask a question later, first of all, if you have any problems with your live streaming or you're trying to get through it and it's not something I can answer in excuse me, it's not something I can answer in a live stream, but you need to have a conversation with me, there is a link for mentorship that you can add through through my membership program, where you can have a little more direct access to me. But please, we need to steer people away from asking questions that are what equipment should I have, or what settings should I use, because I can't tell you what equipment you should own or what settings you should use. If you're coming to this live stream and asking a question, it should be because you tried everything. You tried this and you tried that, and you can describe the question that you're having. Okay, so I have this equipment and I have this and this, and when I live stream, for some reason my audio clicks or it goes out, and here, because I can't answer to somebody who's never even tested or tried OBS what their equipment's going to use. I don't know. So today we got a whole lot of questions about what should I do with my equipment? and the truth is that what you should do with your equipment is test to see what works for you. And then when you get stumped on something, well, you'll have learned enough to ask questions that make sense so that I can answer them for you. So hopefully we got that definitely right out of this live stream. But if you're interested in becoming a member, first of all, it really does help to keep the lights on here. But it also allows me to give more intimate live stream where we can ask your questions. Maybe you can even share your screen so we can take a deeper look into why you're having problems. And we're not obviously going to be able to do that on live streams like this where there's, so many viewers. So it is what it is. If you want that kind of access, then joining the membership program is going to be the way to go. I do want to take this time to just thank every single one of you that enjoyed my content and thought enough to click that subscribe button. It means the world to Monica and I. It's absolutely amazing. and game changing that we've been able to kind of make a go of this. And I really, really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And when I come on these live streams, I always want to try to answer everyone's questions because it's important to me. So hopefully me giving you some information about how to create better questions will help to make this live stream better as well. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Do me a big favor and just go out there, be good to your fellow neighbors, have some fun. Enjoy this weather because it seems pretty epic, at least right here. Maybe where you are, it's not epic, but I hope you guys all have a great day the rest of your weekend. We should have an epic follow-up video on the green screen thing on Monday morning. So hopefully that is awesome. I will see you guys all then. Love ya and take care. Have a great weekend.